All right. All right, all right, all right. We're here. We're ready. This is finals, baby. That's my favorite time of the year. And yeah, thanks to everybody for showing up. I'm Adoma. I'm joined here by Brian the Broken and Jamu, the man himself. How's it going, Brian the Broken?
It's finals, baby. Let's go.
Jamu?
His mic can't even handle all the excitement. What's up, guys?
Oh, man. All right.
Been a long journey, and now we're here, baby.
Yep.
I hope everyone's excited.
Yep, it's been a hell of a season. It's had its ups, it's had its downs. Poor Krebs had a lot of downs at the end there, but yeah, we're here. It was a windy road to get here. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter how you got here because we're here and it's finals and let's go.
I think we even have. I just could you refresh my memory? I think we have a playoff bracket to kind of illustrate the point.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. I was trying to remember because last week the round 3 is really a blur for me. So taking a quick look here, it looks about right. That seems pretty on par for what week 3 really was.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie, could you break this down for us? I don't have my glasses on right.
So I had the bracket all sent out. The script everything was going according to our script from before the season. I think when I sent it along to the group, it got stuck in like an alternate dimension and some weird shit started going on. And once it finally got back to us, this is what happened. There's a lot of fractal bracket lines there, and nothing's really clear. There's some different games involved, but over there on the right, it looks like we finally ended up with the finals, and it's Gromp versus Infernal.
The most clear thing that we got today is the finals between Gromp versus Infernal. Yeah, I mean, let's just start the conversation. I mean, what are your thoughts on this? I mean, we talked a little bit about Wrecked After Dark. Gromp been here before, defending their legacy basically from last season. Sable trying to take it back from them, going for is this his third mug? He's going for the three-peat here.
Yep. This will be the three-peat.
Yeah,
but
this is
yeah, also potentially the three-peat for Shu and Co. So,
well, not all of Co. Co being
some of Co. Rovian and Cobalt, I believe, as well.
Or no, Cobalt is only 2. He's only a 2-timer. Mr. Neat was on the season.
Yep. Yeah. Season 4, yeah.
Right. So, in terms of mug virgins, though, which are the ones that we really want to pay attention to, these are the ones that are just the hot and heavy. Really getting sweaty on this day, this Sunday finals. We got Neil Valab looking to claim his first mug, and then pretty much everyone else on Infernal aside from Sable. So everyone's really looking to, proverbially get it in and get their mug.
That is the proverb, yes. But we got some teams to talk about for anybody who perhaps has not been paying attention directly over the past couple of weeks. Been thinking about other stuff. But yeah, so team number 1, we got Gromp here. Tell me a little bit about this team.
Yeah, we've said it a million times before, right? Gromp is old consistent. They play this like slow kind of calculated game. They have like extremely strong laners. All of it kind of based around. This year in particular, Shu has done a lot less of the heavy lifting. We'll look later at some of the stat lines, but in the past, Shu almost takes up like 35 to 38% of like his team's damage percentage. This season, though, he's been able to take a bit more of a back seat, and it's a little bit more evenly distributed. But in general, early games kind of a little more on the slow side, but as they kind of get to that late game, that's when you have to start sweating, and that's when the games really start to slip out of hand. Taking a look at some of their past games, we have their 2-0 against Scuttle and Infernal. So, obviously, the odds look in favor of Gromp, having already been up against Infernal recently.
Yep. Yeah. They are. And speaking of Infernal, we got to talk about Gromp's opponents here, Team Infernal. We got Kazuto in the top lane, Sable in the jungle, Blueprint in the mid lane, Fat Super Dude as AD carry, and Kanabi as support. So, starting off, regular season 6-6, not who we'd expect to see here, but they've really been showing up in this postseason, especially later in the season. They've had they've had a lot of ups, a lot of downs, and their ups have looked really, really good. A lot of times it feels like they're playing on kind of a different level than their opponent. But I mean, they also have their kind of int weeks too, where they you know, Sable doesn't show up, Blueprint has a tough time, and Kazuto can't really carry, you know. So hopefully we're going to be seeing more of the carry pants from Infernal here coming today.
Yeah, no, we saw on a sub week this past week where Infernal took center stage. They got some real spicy capabilities. I saw like that Yasuo Yone comp. Maybe they're gonna bring out a little silliness to try and combat that solid Gromp squad who's been here before.
I mean, you gotta, right? Like, you gotta try
Yeah.
something. I think that, like, if you're in the shoes of Infernal, you probably go for something kind of standard for the first go around. Try that out. And if that just feels like it's just absolutely not working, I think that Infernal is one of the teams that has the most, they've got the most cheese in the fridge. So hopefully they're willing to kind of put that in the microwave, get it nice and gooey and hot for us, and put it on a plate, because that's kind of what where I think they'll kind of find their niches. Is they can kind of just like put together a W here and there just off of some kind of cute picks. Then I think then we'll have a really close series on our hands.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And one other question I have for you guys is so, you know, we all know these playoffs have been in preseason, which you know, exciting stuff. A lot of wild meta changes, and believe it or not, our last Rec League match was, I believe, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and shit moves fast in the preseason. What's different this week than last time we were broadcasting Rec League?
First and foremost, Amumu is no longer the most busted thing to ever exist. He has both received nerfs. I think he's received 2 nerfs. He received a hot fix. The tank jungler item and the tank, or basically the Sunfire items, have all received reasonable nerfs. He's still quite good, but he is no longer just like the god tier pick that's going to be soloing the Baron at 20 minutes. So I think that'll probably open up some of the pool for mostly Infernal. I think that probably has more implications for Infernal side versus the side of Gromp. Kale, a notable pick for Shu, receives some minor love taps, so knocking that one down a few pegs between the small nerfs to her and then also Blade of the Rune King. That kind of has a little bit of an impact. Samira is still quite good, so be careful of that. Kale is still good, though. Tier champions are receiving a bit of a buff, which definitely bodes well for both AD carry players in terms of Ezreal. Both of them love to pick it, so it's still not great, but it's better than it was. Maybe we'll even see some things like Cassiopeia coming out from Shu. In general, mid lane, Shu got the mid lane nerf in general with 10 less gold on the cannon minions is an important one to note.
Yep, that is a timely nerf there for the side of Infernal. But yeah,
got that. I mean, there's also been some tone down of some of the power in the mage items. Imperial Mandate is bananas on certain champions. That has yet to receive a big nerf, if I'm not mistaken. So on certain it basically works the same way as like old Leandries and Rylai's. So any champions with existing slows, like current Victor, just like loves this item. I haven't really seen Shu adopt a whole lot of that in his match history, but I know that is something that a lot of mid laners are starting to lean towards. Lethality is pretty strong. And Kanye, aka Kane, aka Sable, is probably the best jungler on the patch by a reasonable margin. So that is something I'm looking forward to seeing.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I will say though is I keep expecting him to break out the Kane, but I haven't seen him play it since like all preseason, and I want him to play it. You know, it's a signature champ. It's mega busted right now, and yeah, maybe we'll get to see that. So I guess one other important thing to bring up before we go into the matches here. Today's a best of 7. So this is something that we've not done in Rec League before, but it's best of 7 with a caveat. And that caveat is that Gromp, coming from the winner's bracket, they actually start with a win in this best of 7. So we're starting off 1-0 in favor of Gromp. So Gromp's going to have to win 3 games to take this, and Infernal is going to have to win 4.
Yep, this is definitely a Rec League first. I hope that Infernal can come out the gates strong, just to kind of get some of the tempo in their pocket, because again, having that free W there on the side of Gromp, they have an uphill battle. Infernal
Yep.
has a very uphill battle. Do not get that twisted. Do not get that mistaken. Drafting against Gromp, taking one win off Gromp is difficult enough. Imagine having to take 4.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we've seen it in the past. The teams that beat Gromp are the ones who don't let them play their game. You know, they pull out something weird. They go to them early in the early game, and you know they really just, you know, make stuff happen and make them play a different game than they want to play. And those are the teams that usually find success. And I think Infernal's very capable of that. I think they're probably one of the most capable teams in the league at that. But yeah, we'll see whether they're able to pull that off in these games coming up here.
All right. So now I have a question to pose to all of you. Who's taking it? What are your bets? What are you putting on the line for this series? Go with starting with you, Jamu.
This is a tough one. I think I'll go. I think Gromp's gonna take it. I think that squad's gonna pick up another mug, and it's gonna be a close one. I'll go 4 games. I'll say we're going 7, 4-3.
Ooh. All right.
Don't worry. Where are you at? Where's your head spinning?
I'm thinking game 1 Infernal. I'm thinking games 2 and 3 Gromp. I'm thinking game 4 Infernal, and then I'm thinking Gromp takes the rest of it.
Oh baby. I think if we get to a point of a game 6, since I guess it's technically a game 6 since there's already the free win, I think that Infernal probably takes it if we get to a game 6. However, I'm probably going to just go with the clean prediction of a 3-1 in favor of Gromp. I think that Infernal is going to be able to do it at least once, but I don't know. I'm looking for the accurate win this time. Maybe I won't have to take as many shots on this Sunday, but that is always unlikely.
Always unlikely.
Yeah. And with that, I think we're ready to get into game. Both sides of the table looking to take on this game 1 draft. Let's go, boys!
Hell yeah.
Let's get some action going.
All right.
So, in terms of game 1, what are some of the things that you guys are thinking are the most important to kind of attack?
I think I'll start on Gromp. I think if you're Gromp, you really want to try to get Cobalt on one of those comfort picks, because last year in the finals he carried hard from the top lane. It's hard to manage. I mean, you're so worried about Shu in the mid lane and Valib helping him out, and the ticking time bomb of Rovian in the bot lane, who's just so consistent that you kind of forget about Cobalt up there. And he just, last season in the finals he was able to carry, and all season this season. So try to get him as one of his good picks, one of his pocket picks.
Yeah, and it looks like they're trying to take away the Malphite, taking away some of these tanky scaling picks that Gromp is really good at, but definitely not attacking Shu. I expect they'll probably ban the Vladimir here as the last pick, just kind of waiting to see what happens. That seems to be kind of just the play against Gromp. You don't want to lose game 1 to Shu. Vlad, there it goes. But notably, I really like the Kale first pick.
Yep.
They're just going for it.
Yep. Kale's still strong here, so you know, Shu feeling pretty good on that pick. And yeah, I mean, this is kind of one of the tough parts about playing against Gromp in this preseason, is that the Vladimir is obviously a problem, but you know, Kale and Victor both very, very, very strong too. And yeah, I mean, like those are the actual like meta OP picks, as opposed to Vlad, which is more just like a player specific OP pick. But yeah, I mean, it looks like we got Graves coming out here for Sable. Hell yeah, there.
Jamu didn't actually get into the lobby.
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't.
Oh, all right.
But I think he can actually do a spectate after, unless you didn't allow spectators.
No, he can spectate after.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So we're good and chilling. So we'll just break down the champs like here. But I love this Graves pick. This is it. This is what I want to see Sable do. Oh, but to do what he's gonna have to do into this Gromp comp so far, we see the Kale, we see the Leona, we see the Ornn. These are Ornn just is like, I don't know, giving Ornn to Cobalt is so difficult.
Zero deaths confirmed.
Yeah, it just kind of plays into exactly what Gromp loves to do, and he's so good at just absorbing pressure up there. But I don't know. I mean, it's really the battle of whether or not Kazuto can overwhelm the kind of really safe and reliable play style of Cobalt, and if he can come out ahead of it. I expect very much Kazuto to run out of lane with maybe like a 20-30 CS lead, because in general, Cobalt falls down in CS in lane. Kazuto usually is up by at least 20 CS, so we'll probably see a lot of that here. But I mean, as we were talking about before, this is kind of the classic comp. If you get that ticking time bomb, you got that Kale for Shu, and you've got these really reliable tanks, then this is definitely a scary prospect.
Yep. Yeah, and with the Kale, with the Ornn items, if Gromp gets to that late game, it's going to be a problem. But so Infernal seeing that, they got to say, okay, we got to just not let him get there. So they got the Galio to make some proactive plays around the map. They've got Graves, who's pretty strong at brawling early, and they got the Ashe to really try to get some picks off around the map and maybe get a snowball going. So far so good. We're gonna see how they're gonna try to round this one out. We're getting the Lilia ban and the Mundo ban against Vala, both pretty strong junglers, and then we got the Jax and the Vigar banned out against Infernal here.
Yeah, I expect to see something probably like the Nocturne for Vala, just something with a little bit more agency in the early game. Just so, I mean, Nocturne doesn't have a ton, but compared to some of the other stuff that's usually on the menu for him, I expect maybe Nocturne just as some like good comfort. We're gonna see the Gnar coming out for Kazuto as his means to attack this Ornn. It kind of always feels like a risky pick to me. It usually does really well in lane, but then trying to transition to those mid-late game team fights, it just requires a lot of execution from your team. So hopefully we can just see some of that. I mean, paired up with the Galio and Ashe, you have some really good engage and pick potential.
Yep, absolutely. And yeah, it looks like they're going with the Senna here for Rovian and Nunu for Valid. Nunu actually the highest win rate jungler on this patch, which is pretty exciting. Always a fun one. And Nunu could actually be the bridge here to help Gromp get through this early game. When they're going with the Ashe Zyra lane for Infernal. Always a strong combination.
It's a lot of damage.
These are just nice, easy, like, these are just solid team comps on both sides.
I will say that Kale, like the side of Gromp, this is, if Shu does not pop off this game, they are going to run out of damage so fast. But Shu does this. We say this a lot, and then they win.
Yep.
And it turns out to be a-okay. But I mean, we know what Infernal has to do here. It is extremely telegraphed. You need to attack this Kale. You need to make sure that she doesn't pop off, have that early success. It has to really work for those late levels. And I think that they do have a lot of great tools for this on the side of Infernal. So I'm feeling pretty optimistic about this Infernal comp.
Yep. Yeah, they definitely have the tools to make some plays early, and it's all going to come down to execution, whether Sable can actually play aggressive enough to get those leads going, and force this Kale into a side lane just trying to get to level 16, and then being able to take inhibs while that happens.
Yeah, and I mean, I'd love to take a quick look at that Infernal, the graphic between Shu and Blueprint right
sure.
now, just because I feel like that's just where this matchup's really going to hinge, is just looking at how Blueprint can survive and how Shu does on this Kale. I mean, in general, everybody knows it. Shu's a monster, but Blueprint is no slouch himself. I mean, rocking that like huge kill participation, honestly edging a little bit higher than Shu on that one, and also taking up a huge amount of that damage percentage. Blueprint plays a huge role on this team. Between him and Kazuto, they both make up about 34% of team's damage, which means that just like they rely so heavily on these two players. So really the ball is in kind of Blueprint and Sable's hand. This mid-jungle duo have to make it happen and be able to attack Shu, which is a hard task. I mean, you see his KDA. That means he ain't dying a lot. He's still managing to do a ton of damage. His vision, vision score, whatever. But like both these guys are pretty monstrous in terms of just like raw laning stats and stats in general.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I mean, Blueprint's definitely been one of the breakout stars here on this Infernal team. Definitely been one of the better players, and it really was. I I noticed like a huge change in Infernal when Blueprint was swapped back to mid lane. Because they had him in top lane for a while in the earlier bit of the season, and when they swapped them back to mid lane, that was really when it felt like Infernal was hitting their stride.
Yeah, I mean, it turns out when you put Blueprint, who's a mid main, and Kazuto, who's a top lane main, in their main roles, things actually start to click. So I mean,
Yeah.
pretty wild how that one works.
Who would have thought?
Yep, absolutely. And Pickle Popper says, "How does Jamie Good's hair like that?"
It's pomade. It's also, but I pre-treat it with a it's like a spray. I forgot the brand. It's kind of a mixture of salt and sugar.
Ooh.
Is it
I'll have to get you some more details,
like
but
simple
it like mucks it up a little bit. It gives you that. It gives the hair that like fresh out of the ocean,
Yep.
like stiffness, so that I got a little bit more to work with.
Yeah, I am all about that salty sweet combo in my hair.
Honestly, there's not many things I'm not about that salty sweet combo.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Anywhere.
But I really like that it feels like this game one, nobody into draft. This is a really good draft from both sides. I'm not a big Galio player, but it feels like Galio probably has a reasonable amount of opportunities. I mean, paired up with Sable to make some plays onto Shu early. There's a lot of CC setup, and I mean, Graves brings a lot of the damage. Galio's also no slouch in terms of damage. He pumps it out.
Hell yeah.
I don't know. I'm just liking it. I love the Graves. I want to see this Graves all up in Neil's grill. I think there's a bet on the line. Who gets the first blood, whether or not it's Sable or Valabin on which one of them. So, I mean, Graves really gets him a fighting chance for Valve to be taking some big shots.
And honestly, for how nice this Infernal comp is, it has to be super nice because on Gromp, you got the Senna, you got the Ornn. Those are like two rock solid pillars for their team always. Like, I wouldn't be surprised after this game. Senna's 0012, Ornn's 0012, and Kale's got a ton of kills.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't feel like
solid.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like Gromp was really pinched in this draft at all. And I don't know if there really is a great way to pinch Gromp. We'll have to kind of see how that plays out.
That goes back to what you were saying. You got to try to play your game. Don't try to stop them from playing their game. They're going to play it regardless.
Yeah, and I
think that's
I got to cut you guys off here because we are getting into the game. And yeah, enough of this analysis shit. Let's actually see what's going to happen. I'm at 26.
There's a little 5 point from both teams. No one wants to be the one to ruin the first game of traffic.
You always have the intro here. All right. Game one starting out. Jamie, what do we got?
Oh, again, nice little 5 point from both teams. No one wants to be that person to ruin game one of the finals. Giving up a first blood or maybe a double kill to the enemy mid laner.
Yeah, and I mean, notably Valab putting down a ward and going back to base, buying a sweeper, trying to protect his blue side jungle or his top side jungle from any kind of potential from Sable. I like it. I think that's pretty smart. Just based off where Sable's positioning, I could really see him maybe trying to go in for that early attack. So this is definitely a good read. But one of the things that we didn't really talk about is that I think all of these lanes coming out from Infernal just straight up win early. I don't think that there is one winning lane on the side of Gromp. Correct me if I'm wrong.
On the side of Gromp, yeah, I don't think so. I think
Here we go. Early snowball coming in from Valab. Hate to interrupt you. It's going right into Blueprint. The level 2 gang coming right out. Flash away. He's going to be able to get out, but at half HP.
What were we saying
at
about
what
lane?
cost? Yeah, there we go. Just get your jungler to win the game, win the lane for you. But yeah, that's gonna start this off on a spicy note. Valve's gonna take his time to take out this ward. But Sable's here. He knows exactly where he is. But so does Valve. They're just gonna kind of edge here for a minute. Honestly, great play from Valab. He didn't lose anything for that. Just based off the way that Sable was kind of pathing and positioning.
Yeah, it looks like Shu actually stepping up to put a ward there in just a little deep in Sable's jungle, going to get an early read on any ganks coming from that side. But notably, Sable now on the bot side, so that ward's not going to be doing a whole lot just yet. And even Kazuto would be able to make something happen mid and go around that if he wanted to.
Mm-hmm. I really like Kazuto really opting for this safety for his team. Walks all the way from top lane, gets that ward into the dot bush to try and spot out some kind of like preemptive roam from this new up to the top lane. Kind of just also helps when it comes to this scuttle battle that'll be unfolding in about 3 seconds.
Mm. Yeah, it's like Valib with his pathing that he had to take to get that early gank mid means that he's actually not going to be in a great position for either of these crabs. Because he's actually heading to the bot side now, and so Sable would be able to go for the other crab if he wanted, but it looks like he might actually decide to go for a gank here bot instead.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like we're going to get some action here in the bot lane. By the way, we do not have game sounds.
All right.
Yeah. That's just a quick wavelength thing. But here up in the mid lane, we got the gank coming in from Valib. But Sable's here to try and maybe get something onto him. I don't think it's going to be enough. He's going to be able to snowball on out of there. Dip on out of there. And that's going to be first blood going on to Neil. Not going to be going on to Shu like you want. But Shu's going to be thankful for any kind of help he's going to be able to get. But we're going to see a little bit of action here. We're getting the taunt coming out of Galio, but it's not going to be enough. Shu's going to back on out of there. Sable going to be looking towards this topside jungle, maybe provide some protection for Kazuto, who's looking like he might be in some trouble. He's going to turn Mega. He's not going to get stunned up by anything. He's going to be able to just walk on out of there, waste some of the time of Neil Valib. I need to stop calling him Neil because it's just Valib while he's in game. He's Neil when he's in Discord, boys. Gotta respect.
That was a lot of gank there, but big Valib gank in mid, securing that first blood. Kazuto did start channeling teleport in to try to help out, but was immediately disrupted by Cobalt there with the thundering charge.
Damn, that's such a good play. Charge.
So that's a big summoner down for the top lane there, especially before first back.
And Val's playing this early game so well. He's already gotten off like 3 ganks. He's still, I mean, he wasn't down in any CS, so Graves really had no advantage for all the pressure that was being put down. And he's just going to continue clearing and continue ganking, I'm sure. I mean, no flash on Blueprint, so it seems like another easy lane to attack. Yeah, right now Valve's actually pushing into the jungle of Graves, maybe trying to make something happen. Here comes the snowball from behind. Call this one a reach round. They're going to dash on out of there with a Justice Punch. And going to be an angry B emote. Valve's going to try and do this as many times as he can in this early game. Try and put Blueprint in an awkward situation. Try and make Shu comfortable. When Shu's comfortable, you're comfortable. That's what I always say. Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this before. Just the sheer laning stats from Gromp is just hard to contest. In a Leona Senna lane is already up in CS. There haven't really been any big plays down there. Just naturally, they're up in CS. Shu is already coming away with a 10 CS lead after getting that early kill. And Cobalt's keeping up in farm just fine. So there's no real advantages to speak of yet for Infernal.
Yeah, they did. Zabel was able to burn Rovian's flash and cleanse with that early gank. They would love to see them try to head back there. Speak of the devil.
And here we go. Yep, that's going to be a nice double root from Kanabi, but at this point, just going to be applying a little bit of pressure, getting a little bit of chip damage.
It should be a free dragon.
Yeah, this is looking like the freest of dragons. Kazuto does need to be careful, though. Nunu's just kind of lurking top lane. It looks like he's going to be rolling up there, trying to make something happen. He's going to get the boomerang down. And he's going to loop in around, jump over his head, and I think he might be out. He's going to turn Mega. He's going to be able to gnar them away. Dragon's going to go over to the side of Infernal, pick up the first dragon of the game, Kazuto, with a nice little outplay there in the 2v1.
Zabel right after that dragon going in for the invade to try to grab that red from Vala, but was seen on a ward. So he's going to say, see you later.
Yep, he's just going to dip right on out of there. Graves will start kind of... Once he gets his first item, he'll be definitely a menace, and that's when we'll probably see a lot more attacks here onto the Shu lane. But I mean, honestly, Shu's already level 7. The taunt's going to go down onto him, but he's going to be way out of reach for anyone to help assist on that one. But Sable's going to try and protect his jungle camps here. Valve's in a weird spot. He's going to start channeling the absolute zero. Not going to be able to do all the damage, but he's ticking down pretty fast. Blueprint's in an awkward situation. Both people from Infernal, Blueprint and Sable, falling low, getting out. But Kazuto's here to try and help. Trying to make something happen. Gonna do a nice little boulder toss, flashing forward. Gonna miss the stun there, but Valve's falling so low, but he's just edging so hard. He refuses to die, but here comes the Ornhorn. It's Miller time, and Blueprint is taken down.
Yeah, awesome rotations from both top laners there. Couldn't quite secure the kill onto Kazuto. Possibly went a little bit too hard for that. Maybe just overlooked the fact that Ornn would be right behind him. Picks up the easy kill with the Forge God.
Yeah, that was a great little rotation there. And I mean, ooh, this Gallo's having a rough time. These ganks by Valve have just really put him behind, put him in a really bad spot here. Also, something to note, I didn't pick up on this before, but I noticed it in the middle of that fight. Valve actually did take Ignite on Nunu. So it's Smite, Ignite, Nunu. And he does not have Summoner Spellbook. So I noticed that he did drop a little Ignite there. So we do see the nice little cheese. I like to see the counter cheese coming out from Valve there. It's a little cheeky.
Absolutely love to see that. And we had a little tussle down there in the bot lane. Burned Rovian's cleanse again. That's going to happen with the Ashe Zyra lane. Probably, I don't know. I'd love to see him start trying to get some kills on cooldown with those ultimates. If they can. Not easy to do.
Big agree. And
very solid bot lane.
Yeah, we're at almost 10 minutes into the game, and there's already a 2K gold lead for the side of Gromp. What kind of plays, and do you think we're going to see any kind of Herald pressure coming out? Because we haven't seen any kind of focus so far from either team looking towards Herald.
I think both teams are just kind of really hyper focused on this mid lane, as they probably should be. Maybe a little bit too much on the side of Infernal. There's a lot of action there. It's drawn a lot of attention.
Yeah, and that was a quick little ult from the side of Rovian going up to the top lane. Kazuto and Cobalt duking it out for a bit, but just as we were talking about that, Sable, I think, must be listening to our comms. He's going for the Herald, his favorite objective on the map. Obviously thinks that 2 Heralds is better than 2 Dragons. So we'll have to see whether or not he can actually do something with this. The nice thing about Herald, and especially for playing a jungler like Graves, is that all that money, for the most part, just goes right into your pocket. So getting a nice, like, if you're able to pick up plates with it, get maybe like 3 plates, get a few hundo, put it into the back pocket, you buy yourself something nice. But here comes a taunt going into the mid lane. Shu is going to be stunned up, and here comes all the damage from Sable. They're able to buy it, bonk out the ult, but here comes the Miller ult, Miller time, and this is a big CC chain coming out from Gromp. The squad is here. Great roam up from Spence Champ, timing up the solar flare, but trailing the taunt. This is not going to be enough. This is going to be a double kill for Nunu, and Shu is just going to whack away on this tower. Coming out huge for Gromp.
Yeah, Zabel tried to ult out with that blowback from his ultimate there on Grace, but immediately got stunned, so didn't go anywhere and went to the gray screen instead. That was a nice attempt there on Shu. What I find is that the rest of Shu's team has their finger over the teleport button the entire game.
Ooh, here we go. I hate to interrupt you here. Some action here in the bot lane. Nice little in by Spence Champ with the Zenith Blade flashing away just in the nick of time. I don't think he's going to fall, but Valve's here as backup, able to get his boys out of there. Sable's here, though. He's got the Herald. He needs to make something happen before these plates drop. Be able to get the most bang for his buck, if you will.
And now's the time, because you did just blow that Ornn teleport, and that's what I was getting at. Gromp plays around those teleports very heavily. If someone's in trouble, they're all there. Whoever can be there is going to be there. But if they can't be there, that's when you got to take advantage of it.
Yeah, and it looks like they might just be trying to go get some of this early pressure onto the Infernal Dragon. They're not going to be going for it. Instead, we're going to get a big knock-up on the Shu, flashing away from the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. That was such a good play from Shu. But this is going to signal the go-ahead, dropping the Herald here. They're going to be trying to get some plates. I think they'll be able to pick up a few, but the rest of the teams here, this isn't going to be the most impactful Herald, but as I said, money in the pocket.
Yeah, money for Zabel, and this should be a dragon. Looks like they're going to hold off on that for a bit. Maybe they think Valib's heading bot side jungle, but he's actually top side.
I just don't think they feel super confident in that yet. We haven't really seen Blueprint make any use of this ultimate yet, which you kind of need to do, right? Because Shu doesn't have the ability to roam as easily as someone like a Galio. So make the most of your champion. Try and get your other lanes ahead. If you're struggling a little bit, like you staying in this lane is not going to be the deal breaker, I don't think. I think the way you're going to kind of win this game is trying to help these other lanes. But yeah, Valve just kind of chilling up in the top lane, which is just a free dragon for Infernal. So while Infernal is down in gold, still kind of holding it to about 2K at this point, they are up 2 dragons. So doing a little bit to kind of nullify that gold difference. Nice to have that ultimate cooldown early and also an Infernal Dragon in the back pocket. But we are going to have Ocean Dragon as the sole du jour for game 1.
Love to see it.
So, Adolma, you've been sitting here, you've been watching, you've been clicking some buttons.
I have been.
What have you? Where's your brain been? I mean, what are you kind of thinking on? What kind of fat you chewing in there?
I mean, I've been looking at the game sounds thing. But yeah, don't mind me. Just figuring that stuff out.
I was waiting for Infernal to get a kill before he chimed in again.
Yeah. I'm a big Infernal fanboy. So
yeah. Did you figure it out, or do you need help?
I'm getting there.
You're mid? Oh, just
for mid. Oh, really nice shot.
Cheeky.
Almost. Yeah, but here's going to be a Blueprint going in, but he's not going to see the big snowball coming in from Valve. So this is going to be a nice 2v2. Blueprint's going to have to flash out. This damage from Shu is immense, and the absolute zero gonna tag Sable. He almost gets out of there. Kanabi's here, just be here for safety. But man, Shu is ahead. Valve doing an amazing job in these 2v2s. They are looking so strong together.
Yeah, and I think you might be a couple seconds behind me here, Brian. Just by the way, yeah.
Super dude.
Oh,
that's super dude.
Nice. Oh yeah. There it is. I'm chiming in. That's the first kill.
There we go. All right, so
all about that.
Showing up.
Oh, now we got Kazuto in the top lane as well.
Clipped him with the slow.
Oh no.
Tanking 2, 3, flashing away just in the nick of time. I don't think Cobalt or Valve's going to be able to chase him down. But man, that's close. That was almost a really bad time, and Kazuto would have been hella tilted on that one. But that was huge for Super Dude. Like, Super Dude is he's the, I guess, the elo anchor on the side of Infernal. So, like, to see people like that step up, and especially to, like, such veterans, such as, like, Rovian, like, that's great. We love to see that. So, Super Dude, not only looking like a Chad IRL, looking like a Chad on the Rift. Super, super handsome dude, for real.
Oh yeah. And it's getting a little late, but I think going forward, I think Infernal's gonna maybe want to put less attention into this mid lane during laning phase. I think we could have seen a lot more of that going on bot lane. Shu's only got 1 teleport, Cobalt only 1 teleport. It's really difficult to put Shu behind. I'm sure Zabel knows that, but they gave it a shot. Didn't really work out.
Yep, got to try it once.
I mean, that's the beauty of the series, though. You got time, so.
Yeah. Oh, do we want to become famous, and do we want to buy followers? Someone's asking in chat. I was wondering, do we want to become famous?
I'm not really into it. So
no, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks, though. We appreciate the offer.
A lot of pressure.
Yeah, Kazuto and Cobalt slapping back and forth. Divine Sunder being picked up for this Gnar. Just a really strong item right now, being able to get a Spellblade proc that deals with max health damage. Or max health. Just, it'll get stronger as we get into this late game. But 17 minutes into the game right now, 4K lead for Gromp. That being said, while the whole of Gromp is looking quite scary, these team fights in the late game are really going to come down to one thing, and that's going to be, is Shu dead or is Shu alive? And if by a miracle they're able to kill Shu, that's pretty much a one team fight. Fat Super Dude needs to get on out of here. He's going to get knocked up by the snowball, taken down, funneling more gold into Shu. Kazuto burning the teleport to try and join, but he is way too late. Dragon's going to be up in just a moment.
Yeah, it's another case of just a reactive teleport that resulted in nothing other than a summoner spell on cooldown. It's you're gonna have a really hard time winning games against Gromp with that kind of action going on.
Yeah, and Blueprint able to just steal away the Gromp from Valhalla. Feels good. You like to take the little victories that you can. You don't get a lot of them against Gromp. But yeah, I mean, right now, these CS numbers across the board, I mean, at least from Kale and Rovian, are looking pretty nutty compared to their counterparts. That makes up a huge chunk of this lead.
Yeah, and I guess that's what you'd expect with the difference in ranks there between those guys.
Oh, in mid lane. Yep.
Super Dude again. Oof.
Yeah,
It's really gotta
Dude.
He's gotta have a buddy with him.
It's hard. That's the life of AD carry this patch, right? It just feels like there's so many ways to kill people. I mean, granted, this is just the good old Nunu Leona. This is nothing new, nothing fancy, but it still hurts all the same.
Well, that's what happens when you're sitting there in the bot lane against Rovian and Spence, and nothing's going on for 20 minutes, and then you go to the rest of the map and you're like, yeah, no one's gonna touch me, right? Nothing's going on, and then you get slapped right in the face.
Call that the sleeper state.
Yeah. You don't want to be in that.
No, you don't. So Harold's going to be going over to. Oh man, Harold's going to be picked up for side of Gromp. Gromp also got the dragon. Infernal not coming up with anything positive there. Nothing at all. And Kazuto is still just locked in this top lane. I see what you mean, and I kind of agree that I just wish that we saw a little bit more pressure just funneled into Kazuto. Kazuto makes up a huge portion of your team's damage, and he's one of your main win conditions, but he's still stuck in this lane right now. He still has to deal with the tower and the Ornn. God, hashtag free Kazuto.
It's really difficult because, I mean, so if you're Zabel and you say, okay, I'm not gonna match Val mid on these early ganks, I'm gonna go top instead, or I'm gonna try to set up a dive top. Then you just have Shu TPing in there with KO ult. You got Senna. I mean, depends how early you're talking, but you got Senna ult flying in from bot lane. It's just really difficult to set up like an isolated gank against Gromp. They're all just always there. You have to. It takes like a higher level of planning where you have to do something and burn the TPs, burn the global, and then you have to do it again.
Right. You have to. You can't, it's no longer just one good play that's going to make or break it. You have to have one good play just to bait them and burn the things needed to actually make another good play look good. And having that kind of realization, that knowledge is some big brain stuff. But as we were just saying, Sable is here with Kazuto. They're going to just force this tower down. Perfect. That's the kind of moves you need to be seeing.
Yeah.
Right.
Cobalt, he's not going to put up a fight. He's just going to give it. Every time. Yep.
Yeah, he's not going to die, but meanwhile, we're going to see the Herald being dropped in this mid lane. Rovian, Valib, and Shu are here, and they're just going to take down this tower, and there's not much that you can really do about this one. Kazuto has teleport down. Blueprint does have teleport, but, I mean, it's not going to really achieve a whole lot here. Sable trying to get on out of here. He's going to dodge on out from those snowballs. But, yeah, I mean, trading a tower for a tower, at this point, you know that you're not in the lead. You know you're not in the driver's seat if you're Infernal. So you're just trying to trade as much as you can right now. It was good that they got those early dragons. Kind of stops the threat of an early soul coming out of Gromp. So you bought yourself some time there, which is definitely the lucky thing. But you still have to deal with the prospect of a scaling Gromp team. You have the Ornn items coming in next level. Kale is at level 14, level 16. She's gonna ascend and become a fucking pain in your ass. So I don't know, man. The what looked like a really good draft, just Shu did it. Shu outplayed the mid jungle duo. It happened.
Yeah, again, I think they put too much emphasis onto the mid lane. They being Infernal. With the Galio, I feel like there are way too many ganks for a Galio lane there. Galio's the
Yeah.
one who's gonna be flying in from.
And meanwhile, this
from the
Baron
mid.
is just being melted by both Shu and Valve, just two-manning it. They're just gonna take it down, and very, very easily. That Baron looked like it was made of paper. Shu's sitting on 2 items. He has both the Rift Maker and the Gnasher's Tooth, giving him some of that Omni Vamp, that juicy Omni Vamp stat that people love to have. And yeah, Gnasher's Tooth builds everything that Kale wants. So paired up with the raw power of Sunfire, no longer as gross as it was. It is still quite gross. So Baron going to fall pretty quickly. And correct me if I'm wrong, Gromp is probably the scariest team with a Baron buff.
I don't the scariest team anyways. In my
I
opinion.
don't know. I mean, Bramble without guillotines, I think, are pretty scary.
It's just
And
there's
like
some
pre-manifesto Bramble is definitely quite scary as well.
perhaps, yeah.
But here we're gonna see this dragon just going over for free to the side of Infernal. 2 dragons, 2 ocean dragons. These tanks are gonna love that. They're gonna eat that shit up. And now they're gonna try and make some plays. That Super Dude running away from this Nunu. This Nunu doesn't give any fucks. He's gonna go and try and take you under this tower. All that CC flashing away, and that's gonna be taken down by Rovian. Here comes the flash away from Sable. Spence Jam going deep underneath this tower. Kanabi with a great flash away from Cobalt. They're trying to, it looks like they should be trying to, like, they're kiting it back so well, but it's just like too little too late. They just don't have any gold. They don't have any means to kind of stop this this rampage. 24 minutes of the game. First inhibitor is going to fall, and it looks like they might be just trying to take the game from here. It doesn't look like they're afraid of anything at this point. That's going to be the KO going on to Leona, flashing away from Blueprint, trying to CC Spence Champ under the tower. Balab is going low, but he's not going to fall. Spence Champ as well. This is just so dominant from Gromp. The siege and say, Kanabi, where are you at, homie? Call Sable is going to fall to Shu. Shu is shoving it where he wants. And this is looking like game 1 going into the hands of Gromp. They're going to take down Kazuto. They're going to maybe cyberbully Fat Super Dude. But yeah, that's going to be a quick and very decisive game 1 from Gromp.
Yeah.
Oh, baby.
Was that the first Galio ult?
Yeah.
Game?
I didn't.
Right
Galio
there?
without, yeah, I'd take almost any champion with that uses their ult. I don't know. I want to see more Galio ults, or just
I
like
think
do more
that-
Galio.
It's
things.
not unless I missed one, but I'm not sure. I was paying pretty close attention here. I think so. That's not a good thing, good sign. If your first Galio ult of the game is 24 minutes in.
To be fair, that could be said of just about any champion. If you use
True.
your ultimate once,
It's
then
a good
that's
typically a good ability.
usually it's your best one. It turns out. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely some. I mean, they tried it. Infernal tried the attack Shu comp. They tried to have a strong mid jungle duo, have these kind of like winning side lanes. It didn't quite work. I think it's probably time to try something a little spicier, add a little bit of chili pepper onto that, maybe whip out that cheese that's been in the microwave for all of game 1. It's hot and ready for this game 2. So hopefully they got some gooey Velveeta for us as we start looking at this game 2.
The Gnar damage was the Gnar damage was great, but he's just throwing paper clips at an Ornn the entire game. You throw enough paper clips, it's gonna add up to a metal mountain.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and again, if that master paperclip thrower is just stuck in the top lane, then well, that's fine. I mean, you're not really doing a whole lot for the team. It kind of just felt like everyone was playing their own individual lanes, not a ton of team cohesion there. But I think that's also off the back of Valve just having a really good early game that put Infernal kind of in the back seat the entire game. They were kind of reacting as opposed to being proactive for most of that game. But with that, we'll send it to a quick break as we get ready for game 2 of Infernal versus Gromp. Gromp with the 2-0 lead in this best of 7. We got more for you, so don't go away.
All right, and just like that, we're back. But we got a little replacement here. Brian the Broken, little tired, little tuckered out after that game. We're replacing with a good looking Darth Ted here. How's it going, Darth Ted?
It's going well. How are you, everybody? Welcome to finals. I know I missed last game, but it's great. Say hi to Marissa in the background.
Well, hello, Marissa. I hope you were watching game one there, Darth Ted. Do you have any thoughts on what you saw? Maybe what you'd like to see, or
Yeah. So I liked both. I liked both comps. Sorry, I'm just reading Twitch chat of all the different names, and they seemed really well in tune to what each team wanted to do. I thought the Galio was an okay pickup into the Kale. Like, you're not gonna win lane. Like, because if you go hard and you shove into the Kale's gonna farm under tower. If you pick a melee matchup, the Kale's just gonna farm into you anyways. It doesn't really matter. What I wanted to see was more pressure from Zabel into other lanes. You really want to get your bot lane snowballing or your top lane snowballing. This Gnar needs to be able to get out of that lane, go to other lanes, pick up Rift Heralds, and just take more turrets. And no, Valid, I actually have that saved for you right here.
Heyo, there we go.
Congratulations on the no death game. That was great to watch.
Yeah, I believe I also have one. I called Infernal winning game one, so my bracket is right out the window here. So cheers to that, boys.
But yeah, Gromp picked the champs they wanted, got exactly the comp they wanted. They had an early game jungler in the Nunu who just literally snowballed from lane to lane, snowballing each lane, and it was just such a clean, crisp first 10 minutes from Valib. That's exactly what we wanted to see, especially after all the shit talking between Zabel and Valib.
Mm-hmm.
It was just fun to watch. Valib definitely won game one for his team, and I want to see Zabel on a early game jungler that can put down more pressure.
Yeah, and I mean, like that's kind of one of the reasons that Nunes is so good right now, is he's so able to put down that early game pressure, and he also just works really well with those tank items that have been really strong. So, there's a reason that Nunu is such a contested jungler right now and such a high win rate jungler. And he's just basically able to just kind of shut down all the early aggression that Infernal was trying to put out, and like it. Yeah, as Brian pointed out a couple times, it felt like Infernal was kind of little late on the teleports, doing reactive teleports rather than trying to make proactive plays, and it was all off the back of just a couple early game ganks of Valib that really got Gromp to where they needed to be.
Yeah, and it was really funny because anytime Infernal tried to go aggressive and use that Galio knock up with the taunt, Valib was literally just a screen away, already snowballing to that lane. So I don't know if they saw the ganks coming and had tons of vision, or were just so in tune to know when Infernal wanted to do something that they just always had extra members there to turn the fight. Mm-hmm. So yeah, well played by Gromp.
Yep. Yeah, and then when Gromp was starting to get that lead going, they had that pretty nasty Nunu Leona combo, just getting picks after picks onto poor fat super dude. So yeah, but talking about this jungle matchup, gonna pull up just a couple stats that we have on that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean this was one of the more highly anticipated matchups going in. You got Sable against his replacement in Valib. At least
it's so good.
yeah, showing that he is a worthy replacement. But yeah, I mean, like these junglers, they're so similar. Like you look at every single stat, it's like almost identical.
Yeah, and the biggest thing to me is the fact that the kill participation between the two is almost exactly even. And we see, at least from Gromp, a lot of the kills are more teamfight based just off how they play. And it just shows that Valib is usually always there to create some action.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I think Sable, high impact jungler like we just saw with the numbers there, but I don't think the mid lane is going to be the area where the impact is going to want to be attempted to be made for this series. I think he's going to want to try to maybe get fast super dude ahead on a comfortable 80 carry, or maybe head up to that top lane and get Kazuto rolling.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that because like it's the biggest elo difference that Infernal has, right? Kazuto over Cobalt. In every single finals we've seen Cobalt in the top lane just be able to weather the storm. And this has to be the year where someone can get the better of him, full on destroy him up there, and then take over the game. So
Maybe.
I want to see it. It needs to happen in one of these games.
I would love to see it because that would be a first time. I love seeing new things.
That's fair. So I'd be very interested to see something like the Camille or the Renekton coming up. Just something that's very good in the 1v1 dueling, and Zabel can kind of just hover around, not have to gank, but be there just in case Valib sends his new topside.
Yeah, absolutely. And also notable, in this game too, we got actually Infernal on the blue side because they were red side last game. So Infernal is going to be getting first pick here. So last time Gromp used their first pick on the Kale. So we'll see if maybe Infernal wants to consider picking that one up, because I know Kazuto has played a good amount of that, which is very generally good on this patch. But I mean, we'll see what they got in store for us. Gonna start things off with a Malphite ban. That's very, it's what they had last time, so no changes yet.
Don't want Cobalt having that.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely not. And honestly, I think Gromp are okay giving over the Kale, just because having the Kale in the top lane means that once it hits 6, it can't really affect the rest of the map and doesn't have that ultimate to save the jungler in these early game dragon fights. But we'll have to see.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. Going against Gromp, you're not exactly like excited to pick the late game scaling champs, but it is an option that they do have access to if they want it.
Yeah, and off the rip, we do see the Camille ban with the Kayn for Gromp, not giving those two strong powerhouse picks to Zabel and Kazuto. So, unfortunately, those are not getting through. And the Mumu ban against Valib.
Yep. Yeah, and these are the same bans so far coming out from both teams. So Gromp here with this last ban. Nope, looks like we're gonna have the exact same bans as game 1 here. So this is the difference maker though. Infernal picking up Kale. So Kazuto gonna get to play that one. Potentially could also go to Blueprint, but I think this is probably for Kazuto.
Yeah, and Kale is such a huge contested pick in this matchup. Shu and Kazuto, very high elo players looking to play that champ. And honestly, I really like it. It's so safe, it's strong, and once you get to that late game, you just absolutely destroy. But we get a Victor pickup for Shu, which is also an insane champion on this patch.
Yep. Yeah, and like this is the Shu problem on this patch, right? You got Vlad, Kale, Victor. Kale and Victor just really meta right now. Vlad just really good from Shu, and you got to say either we spend all of our bans getting rid of those, or we let them have one of them. And they're all really scary, and that's a problem you got to crack. But looks like Sable gonna be picking up the Hecarim here, so we'll see whether he's gonna be able to make some plays happen on that.
Yeah, and I don't mind the Hecarim pick right here. As you said, there's the Vlad, Victor, and Kale matchup for Shu. They're the things you need to really play around. And Infernal's basically saying, all right, we'll take Kale away, and then we'll give you Victor and try to run a heavy CC comp into it so you can't play the game. Hecarim's going to be able to get onto that backline along with Leona, so if they can lock him down long enough, they'll be able to basically burst him.
Yep. Yeah, and also notably Hecarim quite good at ganking mid lane as well, if they do want to apply some pressure there, because he's able to just run into that lane very easily, especially if you have some mid laner that can set up those ganks really well. But gonna be going with the Senna here for Rovian. Yeah, looked good last game. AD carries aren't their best, and Senna's got a lot of utility, so you'll love it.
Yeah, it was a really strong pickup.
When's the last time he didn't play Senna?
You know, that's an excellent question. I'm not sure. It feels like it's been a lot of it recently, though. Yeah. Yeah.
That's actually a good question.
Yeah.
I remember back in the early season, Rovian didn't really like Senna at all, just because she didn't really fit his playstyle, at least towards the end of season 6. He just refused to play her. But now Senna's so strong.
Last 2 games were against Bramble in week 7, where they 0-2'd. Both games did not play Senna and lost both games.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Yeah, I will say Bramble also had a strong bot lane to kind of take advantage of that. Whereas Fat Super Dude and Kanabi are really good players, but I don't think they're aggressive enough to be able to just jump on top of the Senna and murder her every single time.
Yep. And looks like we're going to be seeing the Zyra here for Spence champ. Actually, both teams kind of swapping up a bunch of the picks swapping between teams here. We got Infernal picking up the Kayle and Leona, which Gromp just played, and Gromp's now picking up the Zyra.
All right, so what I want to see is a Tristana from Fat Super Dude. Right, there we go. The Tristana Leona bot lane, and I want to see an early game gank from Hecarim. Just level 2, run out of the bot lane, just dive in. Kill one of them below their summoners and just repeat. Get this Tristana fed. Allow her to roam and take towers. Kazuto is going to be fine against Ornn in the top lane. It's whatever. He's just going to sit there and farm and try not to die. But this bot lane is where you need to attack if you're Infernal.
Yep, absolutely. And Malco the Blurred, thanks for the follow. Yeah, this is the finals, so not going to be here next week. But trust me, we'll be back with some more Rec League action at some point. But yeah.
Then we get the Nico in the mid lane versus Victor.
Love it.
Ooh. Skarner here for
Yeah.
Valib.
Ah,
I think Infernal can't be afraid to try to get Fat Super Dude ahead. I mean, he's their lower ranked player, but just give Gromp one more thing to worry about, you know?
Yep.
Let Kazuto and Sable do their thing. They're strong players, but Fat Super Dude's no slouch. Get him a couple kills and have just another thing to think about.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and even if those kills go on to Zabel, that's perfectly fine, because having a really big pony against the backline of a Victor, Senna, Zyra can run them down so easily. And I really like this Infernal comp. It's a strong 4-man with a Kayle who's going to be trying to split push and scale up to 16.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the scary part though. Scale up to 16 against Gromp. That's it's a scary prospect. I mean, Kayle does make that a lot easier, and Nilark actually pointed out that Kayle is a winning matchup into Ornn. I've actually played that matchup from both sides, and yeah, Kayle feels pretty good into Ornn.
Yeah, but with this Skarner last pick for Valid, the QSS tax is in play.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, there's a lot of CC on the side of Infernal, so QSS is probably a good thing for Tristana anyways.
Yep.
But it's the Skarner is really strong if the Hecarim gets separated from the rest of the team. If he goes too far forward, the Skarner just ults, and then that's a dead pony, and the rest of the team just can't follow up on it.
Yeah.
So Infernal's going to have to be very careful with how they initiate, and they're going to have to watch where the Skarner is positioning before they go in.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really strong interaction for the Skarner. I'm happy Valid picked it up. I played it against him in an internal scrim a few weeks back, and showed him the tech. So I wonder if you remember.
Hopefully, he gives you props for it.
Hopefully, he's gonna go like 0-10 and then be like, "Fuck."
That was Jmu, man. When I saw the pickup, I was like, "Oh no, they picked Skarner." I thought they were putting it top lane, and then I remembered they had an Ornn, because I know Cobalt loves playing the Skarner top.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I still haven't really figured that one out. Just kind of like the why of it, but yeah, I mean Cobalt loves it, and he keeps playing it. So maybe there's something there. But he's in the finals. I'm not. So
that's fair. Me personally, I just don't understand why tanky champions are fun. I'd rather be doing all the damage,
Yeah.
Getting one shot, then complaining that my team didn't protect me enough.
Well, the fun thing about this patch is you got to do both, right? Because
fair.
Yeah. You got the awesome Sunfire damage to kind of do whatever you want, and that's what it's all about,
Yeah, but we have both teams. Everybody's picked. Everybody's selected. We saw Gromp completely stomping last game, going 1-0 in 25 minutes, looking so good. It was almost a perfect game for them. They gave up 1 Rift Herald, 1 kill, and 2 dragons. So how do you think Infernal do this game? Do you think they're able to take game 2?
I think so.
Jamu?
I mean, it really depends. I mean, I think they can. They have the capability, if that's the answer to the question simply, but it's just a matter of how they attack the Gromp strategy, which is always the problem, I think.
Hmm.
All right, well, let me ask you this. Nameplate's off. Which draft do you think is better?
Draft. It went away. Let me wait for loading screen.
Fair enough.
Forgot.
It's sitting on blank screen for me. Come on, League. Load faster. Small indie company.
Nameplate's off. I do like Infernals. I mean, Gromps is just such a passive comp with Ornn, Senna.
Yep.
You got Victor. If you didn't know that was Shu, then I don't know. I like Tristana's ability to try to get ahead with some and snowball out of control, and Nico is very strong in the right hands.
All right, and I gotta actually cut you guys off here because we're going right into game here. So everybody get excited. We're getting into it.
I'm still not loaded into the game.
Yeah, we gotta pause anyway. So.
I think fine. Our faces are on screen.
Yeah, the pause.
Yeah. But now we just get to talk more about what we think is going to happen early on.
More analysis.
More analysis. Let's go. So what do you want to see from Gromp in this early game? Because we already talked about, or I talked about a little bit how you want Infernal just to be attacking the bot lane.
Sorry, I'm just reading the chat. Can you repeat that?
What do you want to see from Gromp in this early game?
I mean, we know what we're gonna see is Rovian and Spence are gonna be passive. They're gonna just farm it up with this lane. I know they have the capability to do otherwise, but this lane won't do that probably. Shu's just gonna continually farm it up and push it and put pressure on Blueprint to do the same and not be able to roam around at all. There's gonna be pressure from Valib there. If Blueprint does get an early push off, it's gonna be risky because Valib's gonna be waiting in the wing, and Cobalt's just gonna not die. That's it.
All right, sounds good.
Love
and
it.
I don't know much about this Nico versus Victor matchup. We have a resident Nico player here and in Twitch chat with Pickle Popper. So how do you think this matchup goes? Nameplates off.
Um,
And Pickle, please give your opinion as well.
I feel like you might have a little early advantage on Nico to get a couple good trades off with your I forget the name, but the E, the root, the entangle barbs. But if you can land that, I'm not sure if that outranges like the starting range of Victor's laser beam. But if you can land that on him, you can get a pretty solid trade off and kind of stay out of range. Looks like it's a Comet build. I'm not 100% up on the Nico builds of late. It used to be the Glacial Augment. That's no longer. Pretty sure. Is it a thing?
I think Glacial still is a little bit strong, but with Nico, you get so much CC coming out of your kit that you pretty much land the Comet every time.
Yeah. Hard to say who wins, but it'll be interesting for sure. Nameplate's off. That is.
All right.
Nameplate might be a different story.
Nameplate's on. Same question.
It could probably goes to Victor. Choose Victor.
Sure.
He's a Vlad one trick, but Victor's not far behind in my book.
If you say a person has a one trick, but another champion isn't very far behind, does that make him not a one trick at that point?
He's just very good at the game. That's why I find it weird to call him a Vlad one trick, but apparently he even says that about himself. So.
Ooh, and we actually got all 5 members of Infernal here walking in this bush, but they are going to be spotted out here by Cobalt. So.
Cobalt ready for it.
Yeah, unfortunately though, they didn't see Cobalt here, so they don't know they were spotted. And the rest of Infernal is just rest of Gromp's dropping a ward and backing away. Oh, they will see Cobalt there though, so they know the gig is up.
Yeah.
And I like what Gromp is doing, getting in this other bot side jungle and dropping some wards.
Grabbing the Skarner points while they're there.
Big money there for Spence Champ picking up that Skarner thing.
That's 60 gold to Gromp. Looking good in this early game.
Dainty Taco, thanks for the sub. 34 months. So, geez, that's a long ass time.
And we get Zabel actually starting on this red buff. Will be spotted by a ward. They know it's happening. And Valib actually countering it on this, the red side and the top side. Kanabi actually places a ward, so they see this, but they're too scared to walk in because there's 3 champions there. They have to go the long way around. This might signal an early fight if Valib follows up on this.
Yeah, this is the long, somewhat dangerous way around.
Yeah, Valib is here and Rovian's poking. Kanabi and Fat Super Dude are in a really bad spot right now, getting slowed down. Valib flashing forward, misses the stun, gets the stun on Fat Super Dude, exhausted. It's going to be an easy first blood for Valib. That is just unlucky pathing right there, getting completely outmapped by the side of Gromp.
Yeah, and Pickle Popper with the 100 bits saying, "Let's go Infernal." Sorry, bud. Sorry you had to watch that, but maybe next time.
Valb did burn flash there to secure that kill, so hopefully the rest of the map knows that and make his future ganks in this early game a little bit more difficult.
It's just the unfortunate part about the game plan we wanted from Infernal, right? Zabel started topside and it forced the vertical jungling, but it just puts his bot side in a very weak position. And now they can't actually try to attack it right now because, Valib's level 3 and he's still here.
Yeah, they've kind of been forced into a little vertical jungle situation, which means that Sable's going to be topside here for the foreseeable future. And, Shu smartly putting a ward up on that top side because he knows that's where Sable's going to be. And, yeah, really just kind of neutralizing a lot of the pressure from Sable, just knowing where he is.
And speaking of that mid lane, we see a big CS lead already coming up. Shu up 7 CS and having a wave frozen in front of his turret. Blueprint already down to half health. Just can't really step up to this. Wants to get it shoved in and unfortunately won't be able to clear out those caster minions.
Yeah, looks like he's going to at least get the experience off it, though, so that's something.
Yeah, didn't get the blooming burst proc, kind of tough early game to get that extra damage.
Yeah, that's 12 CS lead to Shu already in this lane.
Yep. Now
that's so big.
Now we got Sable heading into his bot jungle. We're going to find out that it's all gone. That makes a lot of sense. Since the crab's gone as well. Gonna at least set up a deep ward into the enemy jungle here, and maybe even go for a gank here on mid. Here he goes.
Sniffing it out, coming in behind Shu, gets the knock forward. The root misses, though, from Blueprint, and Shu's going to be able to walk out. Has flash available, uses it, and he's able to get out.
Unfortunate miss there on the bind. That would have been a secured kill for sure.
Yep. Yeah, and this does relieve a little bit of pressure here for Blueprint, and Shu, with his flash being down, it means that Sable could maybe try to repeat that gank, seeing as he is on this immobile Victor pick. But Blueprint gonna reset first, gonna have his teleport available, and yeah.
I do think they saw the Victor TP come out, so that should signal them to maybe they get an easier gank bot lane on the side for Infernal, knowing that maybe one of the two TPs won't be there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like Blueprint also going to burn his TP as well. So the only TP left standing on the map is going to be Cobalt's.
Yeah, we're going to see a gank in the top lane towards Kazuto, but Valve spotted out on a ward and able to walk away. I'm so scared for Kazuto right here. Cobalt is able to freeze this giant mini wave in front of his turret if he wants to. Just bad news bears if you're a Kale.
Yep. And Cobalt loves his lane freezes, so. But I mean, they did know that Valve was topside, so Sable gonna try to make a play bot lane, but he did walk over a ward here going into this lane bush, so gonna see how much time he spends here, but I can't imagine it's gonna be a ton because Gromp's probably not gonna step up very much.
Yeah, and the ward actually died, so Zabel knows he was spotted, or should have known that there was a ward there, but he's still sticking around. Kanabi stepping forward, going and missing the Zenith Blade, though. Unfortunate on that one.
Wop.
Yeah, it's just a lot of time spent down there by Zabel.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of his bot side jungle camps aren't clear, and Kanabi, again, missing a Zenith Blade. Just taking a ton of poke from the Zyra on the back end of it.
Yeah, now Zabel's been here for almost a full minute now. Just soaking up some experience from his laners, and yeah, gonna be putting them behind just a little bit more. So not what you're excited about as a Infernal fan.
No, and we were talking. You burn Shu's flash. He burned his teleport. Just repeat the gank the lane. Yep. He does have a couple of wards down, but you got to attack it while you have the opportunities to. And we're seeing Valve actually, knowing that Zabel backed, starting up an early Ocean Drake.
Yeah, and Zabel's in the area, but he's just over here at his red buff. We'll see if he paths towards the dragon after this, but it's probably going to be too late. Yeah, Valve should be able to pick this one up for free. Yeah, Zabel's just going around the other way anyway.
Yeah, and Kazuto actually roamed down towards this mid lane. We get a flash pop blossom, but it unfortunately misses along with the root. So Kazuto is just wasting his time with a little bit of a B emoji. Sad B from Shu right there.
Yeah, not entirely sure what he's trying to accomplish there. Maybe going for the 3v2 with Sable, but Kale doesn't exactly have a ton of options for ganking mid lane, but you know, he believed.
Yeah, if you look at his vision in the bot side, there are 3 pinks lighting up the river for Gromp. There's no way Zabel actually attacks the spot lane right now without them knowing. The game plan from Infernal is clearly sniffed out by Infernal, and they're just protecting their laners by throwing all the vision down there.
Mm-hmm.
And Rovian, again, has a 20 CS lead right now. And he's poking down Fat Super Dude and Kanabi so hard. It's looking a little bit rough for Infernal because the early game is supposed to be their game, right? The early game is supposed to be where their advantages lie because Gromp is a late game team.
Yeah, I think what's really holding Infernal back is this Zyra pick for Spence. Kind of like helps out or like covers the weaknesses of the early Senna. It just provides like a ton of damage and makes it so.
Ornn in the top lane though, going on to Kazuto. Ultimate comes down and they're able to just trade it out. Kazuto going super low though. Cobalt looking for more, getting the Bell's Breath down, but Kazuto has to flash away.
Yeah, Sable's in the area going in, but little does he know Valve's here as well. So this could be bad.
Yeah, he's going for more, getting the red smite down, has a flash forward from Valve. Zable's able to ult out. Valve looking for the ultimate,
I'll
trying to
respond
get
for a
that
second.
snare down,
Oh, he
but
just used it. Never mind.
minions, unfortunately, blocking Valve's path right there, not letting him get onto the pony.
Yeah, all I needed there was an ultimate to secure the kill. He just had to get a little bit closer in range. Was not able to do it, though. But, I mean, still pretty good for Gromp, all things considered.
Yeah, and Gromp again, amassing a 1.5 guild lead right now at 10 minutes. Looking pretty good, playing a very slow and methodical game. Good news for Infernal, though. Blueprint was able to close that CS lead, is up to 80 CS with Shu.
Yep. Yeah, now we have Valib on this Rift Herald, but Infernal knows about it, and they're collapsing on him. They got three.
Yeah,
They got three people here.
Is able going in, trying to get more, but gets ulted up by Valib. Shu is here on the backside, trying to help out his jungler. Pop Loss, though, picking out Shu. Shu flashes over the wall, able to get away. Kanabi is here, but can't land the Zenith Blade to go in for more.
And I love that Skarner phase rush interaction. that's just you proc phase rush and then you ult them, and then you just go flying in the other direction, and you can pull them so far.
Yeah, but on the backside of things, Rovian and Spence Champ just putting a beating on this tower. But Rovian under a turret right now, getting stunned up. A nice Zyra ultimate, knocking out both of them, allowing his ADC to get out.
Yeah,
that was so close.
Yeah, they were actually both outside of the Zyra ultimate, and then both walked back into it and got knocked up by it, and then Rovian was able to get away. So not flawless there from Infernal, but it's a good idea.
Yeah, but very lucky that Rovian didn't actually take tower aggro while getting stunned up there, because he would have definitely been dead. But those are both sums blown from this Senna, who has been aggressively pushing in this lane. And Kanabi and Fat Super Dude had taken out a lot of the vision in this bot side river. So we could see Zabel looking for more opportunity down. And this is the best spot when Rovian Spence Champ stepping up by himself, putting down vision. You got to try to go.
Here they go.
But looking for Shu again, getting the fear down on him and the knockback. There is a teleport coming out. Zenith Blade misses, and Shu is going to go down to Kazuto. That is one kill for the Kale. Well, good gank there from everyone. That Super Dude going in for more, forcing this flash out of Spence Champ.
Yeah, and that was nice by Infernal to get the kill, but that was 3 ultimates and a teleport to get it. So I mean, they got it, I guess, but that's a ton of resources down, especially with this dragon about to spawn.
It's a lot of resources, but it's about what they can make out of it. And getting the Infernal Drake is definitely a huge win in this game.
Yep.
On the top side, though, Valve responding accordingly and going for Rift Herald. Going to be able to secure this without any contest from Infernal.
Yeah. If we take a look at the mid lane here, we got Blueprint's Nico pretty much has caught up and almost eliminated that CS deficit to Shu there. So keeping up with the champ. Good to see. Should be looking to put out a bunch of damage in these mid game team fights here.
Yep, absolutely. Although
less.
Gonna walk right into Valib here. Get
stunned up.
Oh, but he's got help though.
A lot of damage, but the rest of the team is here. Kanabi going in with Zabel. They're putting Shu down. Goes down to Blueprint. Valve's in bad spot, but Cobalt's here with the Ornhorn. Going across, hits 2 members, but Valve's already dead. Kale is here, gets the slow onto Cobalt. Going for more, but Orn's able to walk out. He is a tanky boy. Big horns, but a lot of health. And Infernal are able to pick up 2 for themselves.
Yeah, and that was two kills there for Infernal. That's huge. That's exactly what they needed at this stage of the game. Gonna get that lead going, and just more time getting Shu off the map means less experience he's gonna get, and gonna be a lot harder for him to actually get that snowball going. So I mean, that was huge from Infernal.
Yeah, 100% well played from Infernal right there. They actually have the first gold lead of this entire series for them.
Ooh.
And Kazuto now with a red buff taken from the enemy jungle, just looking to put a lot of hurt onto this top tower.
Yep. It looks like he was able to get one final plate there before the plates dropped down. So a little extra gold there in the pocket for this Kale. And Kale going up to 10, going to be hitting 11 soon. And that's a nice spike there for this Kale.
Yeah, and a lot of the analysis we've put down so far has been basically you have to beat Gromp in the early game in order to destroy him before they get to the late game. But Infernal's comp scales really, really well with the Kale, the Hecarim, and the Tristana.
Mm-hmm.
So they might be able to just, play it slow, keep the goal even, and bank on a Kale being able to put out a ton of damage in the late game.
Yep. They have the tools to do it. It's just a question of how well they're able to execute it as we start moving towards later in the game here.
Yeah, and the one thing I'm looking for right now from Gromp is where Valib wants to put this Rift Herald. He still has it for another minute. It's just going to be sitting in that ward slot. So which lane does he want to put pressure down and take the turret? I'm assuming it'd be bot lane, but that's just me. We're seeing Blueprint roam down, but he's spotted on a bunch of wards, and Rovian and Spence Champ are just going to back off. And again, the vision game from Gromp is so strong. They light up the map. They see where everybody is. And Fat Super Dude going super low to Rovian. One more auto attack isn't going to land. If it did, Rovian would have been able to get him with the ult.
Yeah, Kanabi was taking the long way there to clear out some vision in the jungle on his way there, which meant that Fat Super Dude kind of on his own and couldn't really return the trade at all. So taking a whole lot of damage. But, I mean, with both Gromp bot laners going back here, they should be okay.
Ult in the top lane going on to Zabel. Kazuto is doing tons of damage. Valve going super low. Knockup goes in, but Kale ult is able to save Zabel under the turret. And that was almost really dicey for a fight Valve chose to take.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Kazuto and Sable getting the better of these 2v2s. Whenever they do happen in this top lane, there they go.
Going in for more.
Cobalt dead.
A lot of damage from Kazuto picked up by Zabel right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Valve stuck there doing his Krugs, and now we got a dragon coming up. So see how the teams decide to prioritize this one. It definitely feels like we're getting to a point where the Kale could walk over to this dragon, and they might be able to pick this one up. Although with both teams having a dragon, they're not as impactful as they could be.
Yeah, both top laners TPs are going to be up around the same time. Kazuto's a little bit low behind. But Valve's on this top side with the Rift Herald summoned, trying to take down this turret. Unfortunately, doesn't have any minions to help him out right here, so the tower is going to be able to kill Shelly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and now with Valib showing on the top side, that means that Infernal looking to make a play on this bot side. It's like the play that they're going to make is going to be this Mountain Drake.
And getting the Mountain Soul for the side of Infernal will help them out quite a bit with these tanks that kind of do natural damage. It'll really help them scale up into this late game and further what their comp wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
Might get some fighting in the mid lane, though it's a lot of just clearing wards. Again, Gromp has had so much vision in the spot side jungle. Now, I want to see Fat Super Dude just go hard on Rovian right here. You win this 1v1. Unfortunately, it does not, and we're seeing a lot of pings up towards this Kale. Valve is running. Kazuto is in no man's land.
He's getting collapsed on like crazy.
Into the Skarner, getting ulted up, knocked up as well. And this is a dead Kazuto. No way out for him. Shu is here as well. They're going to give the kill over to Shu, able to pick it up with an auto.
Yeah, everybody just surrounding the Kale there, and Gromp just deciding who they
bot lane.
Yeah.
Bad news bears for Rovian in the wrong spot. Zabel running from under the tower. Rovian does have flash and heal, but can't use it. Able to get out, actually. One more auto attack will do it, but unfortunately can't proc the E. And teleport from Cobalt saves him.
Yeah, it was a little tough to make that dive there because the minions actually weren't at the tower yet. So, it meant that Sable was going to... He took an extra tower shot right at the beginning there, and he had to burn his ult early, just trying to get as much CC down on Rovian as he possibly could, which left plenty of time for Rovian to be able to flash out before they were actually able to take him down.
Yeah, and with 3 members from Infernal on the bot side, it means Valve can pick up a second Rift Herald of the game and try to use it to break a turret. In both top lane and a bot lane outer turrets are super low, so Shelly will definitely be able to take them down. And this game is so even right now. I love it. It's what we want to see. We want close games, so we don't want stops. But Valve caught out a little bit by Blueprint, able to get out with Shu's help.
And kills at level 12 here. So just gotta spend a little bit more time in those side lanes. That's gonna be getting pretty big.
Yeah. And it looks like both teams really want to save this mid lane turret. They're sending Victor into the bot lane to go against this Kale, which makes a lot of sense because Kale doesn't have a good amount of range against Victor. But he's going to walk straight into Valve once again, getting ulted up. Shu is here doing a lot of damage. The stun is down, but the Kale ult saves him from a good amount of it. But Kazuto just blindly walking up without any vision dies once again. Valve just easy picking.
Yeah, it was maybe a little greedy there from Kazuto. Just didn't quite have the vision set up. He had the deep vision, but yeah, just kind of walking into it, probably to set up some vision, but walked into a Skarner when he got there. So
yeah, now Valve's walking into Zabel right here. Ooh. Ultimate comes down, gets a fear, but he's able to walk away. He's running. He's so fast.
Oh, knocked him away.
Oh, no.
Knocking him away to the blast cone, but Zabel in a bad spot. Shu is here as well. Ultimate from Ornn is coming down, getting the knockup onto one. Pop Blossom gives him the shield. Blueprint staying alive. Zabel as well. The ultimate getting flashed away from by Shu. He's going in. Kale is here, able to pick up one. 500 gold shutdown. Now they're on to Cobalt. Zabel able to live with 5 health, and now they're turning onto the Baron.
How the hell did Zabel live there? that fight looked so bad, but then Infernal just all of a sudden had 5 people, and turns out 5 greater than 3, and they cleaned that one up easy. And yeah, this is an easy Baron here for Infernal. That's huge.
And the immediate turnaround onto it was so smart. They called it out. 3 people are dead. The other 2 are in bot lane. We have this. It's free. Let's go.
I think Senna's ult does damage to Baron. Saw that coming in a little late there. Dawning Shadow from Rovian.
Yeah,
I think it cooldown does damage to champions.
It does say champions, but I don't know. Maybe it was a fishing for a cleanup kill, perhaps.
I mean, the Heck Room was at like 20 health, so it might have been the call. Yeah. Although it probably would have been better used earlier when the rest of your team was alive to give the shield down. But we have a game state where Infernal have a 2.5k gold lead and are looking to secure another Mountain Drake to put him on soul point. We have a teleport from Victor mid, looking to match this Kale once again with Baron minions. And Infernal are just setting up around this dragon, looking for a fight. No TP from the Kale, so we have him in the mid lane. And Infernal or Gromp are looking to start this right away.
Oh boy,
Infernal are gonna try to match it, but I think you can give this and just take towers with your Baron minions. But Gromp are looking for another big fight. A lot of Zyra minions coming down. Blueprint sending out the clone, trying to get distracted. Zabel going in. 3-man fear onto the backline. Roots coming down. On the backside, though, only hitting 1. Valve's going super low. Gonna go down to Fast Super Dude. On the backside, Gromp is just losing health bars. Shu is putting out a lot of damage. Fast Super Dude jumping over the wall, doing a lot of damage here. Shu in the middle of the team going for Blueprint, but the Zonius is down. Zabel gets the dragon. Shu is going super low, picks up the Nico for himself. Fast Super Dude doing a little bit of damage, but can't do much. Rovian chasing him down, looking for these auto attack slows. He will die. That are 4 for 2, but Infernal claims the mountain for themselves.
Yeah, and I mean, like, the story of that fight was just that, you know, Kale died about halfway through it, and yeah, that was a whole lot of the damage from Infernal. Nico had a really good ult on the backside, pretty much took out half of Spence Champ's health in one hit. But yeah, I mean, she was able to live that whole fight. Kazuto was not, and yeah, they just didn't have that damage source, which meant that yeah, with all those shields and slows and healing from Victor and Senna, meant that Gromp was able to just clean up that fight. But I mean, not a huge loss for Infernal. Like, you definitely want to win those fights, but they do pick up the dragon, so they are going to be on Mountain Soul Point here, which, I mean, that's a pretty big deal for them. But yeah, really just nice team fighting there from Gromp.
Yeah, and Infernal had a very clear choice there. They could have given up the dragon, gone for towers, tried to get the gold lead to extend their lead and try to force fights around the next Baron. Or they could go for the fight, take the dragon, and look for Mountain Soul. And I hope they made the right choice for their sake.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. I think it might have been because I think you don't even want to give Gromp a chance to get this Mountain Soul or even any Mountain Dragons. Ornn and Skarner are already hard enough to kill. Took longer than they would have wanted at the beginning of that fight. Any more resistances is gonna be rough.
For sure. But on the converse, getting Mountain Soul for Infernal is really good as well because they have a lot of squishy champions who would love to have these resistances. Because late game, I mean, Shu with a Victor can definitely one-shot Fast Super Dude. But having a Mountain Soul on top of it makes that a little bit harder, and Fast Super Dude will be able to survive it, which is going to be really nice for this Tristana.
Yep. Yeah, looks like Kale has a null magic mantle here. That could be the fabled QSS, which you might be picking up here, but we'll have to see. Yep. That's a QSS here for Kale. So I mean that is going to be a huge help in these fights. Means that Valid dive in the backline isn't going to do nearly as much, and it means that Kale can step up a little bit more when presented with a Skarner in front of her.
Yeah, and I really like Infernal's lane priorities here. They have Tristana Leona mid. You got a lot of clear there. That's fine. Tristana doesn't have the QSS yet, but should be building into it next. The Nico's just going to be staying safe top lane, pushing in the waves. And you have Kale versus Ornn. The lane you want Kale in. She'll be able to push down this turret, pressure the Ornn so much, and be able to take this turret solo.
Yep. Yeah, and also just keep getting that solo experience. That's what the Kale's here for. She just hit level 15, so we're one level away from that big Kale action, that extra range, that extra damage.
Yeah, the one thing I do want from Infernal now is to walk into this top side jungle. The bot side jungle of Gromp and just set up vision so Kazuto knows when Valib is going to be coming.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, you have to get vision around this Baron, but it's not a necessity unless you're going to be trying to rush it. And you're not. You just really want to keep this Kale safe.
Yep.
Shredding through that Ornn right now.
Yeah, wow. That Ornn does not as tanky as he'd like to be.
Ooh, Cobalt taking a lot of damage right there. Baron going to be spawning in about 20 seconds. I'm sorry, 5 seconds coming up now. Dragon in about a minute. And Infernal just very set up. But unfortunately, they're going to be walking out of this river.
Yeah, they've been setting up for this for the past minute or so, and now they're just all pretty much going back and giving Gromp time to maybe get in there, clear out some of that vision, take some control again. But yeah, I guess with the Mountain Drake spawning in 25 seconds, they made the call that they're going to go for that instead.
And Cobalt did getting shredded for sure, but doing a really good job. Held that tower, that outer tower. So it's just another stronghold for Gromp, and the map's just that much more dark for Infernal.
Yeah, they're going on to Kazuto, right? Like, QSS is up, but Kazuto just uses it a little bit too late. Kale is down, but he's going to die, getting knocked up. And that is your big damage dealer down already. Leona is stunned up, exhausted, has a good 3-man ultimate, but it's not enough. And Gromp just setting up for this early objective a lot faster, able to get 2 picks. Valib in a little bit of trouble, but the rest of the team is down here. They're trying to support him. Valib running after Zabel, and Zabel getting stunned up. He's going in for the red smite. Going low, super low, going to be able to ult out, getting the snare down. Angry Bee coming out from Valib, but he can't pick up his spray. Blueprint now in a bad spot, flashing away from Spence Champ. And it's just, it's just such a good setup from Gromp right there. Being ahead of the game, knowing the next objective.
Yeah, and honestly, just kind of catching Kazuto with his pants down there a little bit. didn't have the vision to make that work, and now yeah, that's all it took. It was just that one pick, and and now we got Blueprint going down.
He wanted to hold his flash and just take it without the auto attack, but he didn't have the damage. But now that's one dead for Infernal right here, and Gromp are just running straight towards that Baron.
Yeah, and man, these 5v5s around dragons just haven't been working out that well for Infernal here so far. But
yeah, we got Baron down to about half health. Kazuto looking for more, but and he can't do anything, and he dies. Kanabi with another good ultimate, but it's not enough. He's just going in by himself. Leona, you can't do anything right there. Don't go in. That's gonna be a Baron for Gromp.
Yeah, and yeah, Kazuto just getting caught out again. And if you're not interested, if you don't feel confident in taking that fight, you shouldn't be up that far. And yeah, just gets picked out by that Skarner phase rush interaction and pulled into the team and just dies. So
yeah, it feels bad, right? Because you're the carry, you're the Kale, you're the one who does the damage. And if you're the one that gets caught out, you let your team down. And then you run to Baron, you're again the Kale, the damage, the carry, you can try to stop it. But Valve is just ulting on cooldown and taking you out of the fight immediately.
I think this honestly started from that push down bot lane. Kazuto could not take that tower.
Yep.
And it just made it that much easier for Gromp to take that dragon, get the inside track to killing Kazuto before his team was able to get there. And it just has snowballed since.
Yeah, they were playing the 1-4 with Kazuto in bot lane and everybody around Baron, and then the rest of the team switched to Dragon, and Kazuto didn't switch to top lane, and then yeah, he just ended up getting caught instead. Yeah.
On the converse though, the 4-man from Infernal were around Baron clearing out vision.
Oh my god.
Oh,
goodbye, Blueprint.
Valve going in, getting stunned up under tower, a little bit of trade damage. But my point was, Infernal basically could have chose just to start Baron right there, because you melt it with a Tristana, Nico, and Hecarim. But instead, they went to try to save the Kale.
Yep.
And they lost the fight, they lost the Dragon, they lost the Baron.
Yep.
And now Gromp are in a huge lead, 4K gold lead, and are 1-3-1 against this enemy team.
Yeah. They're gonna have a really hard time answering this. The Kale's gonna do just fine in one of the ones, but they got to figure out who's gonna go to the other one. And level 18 Victor, turns out nobody can go to that one. So looks like they're gonna maybe try to send the Kale up there to answer it, or maybe try to take a fight here with Orange still in the bot lane.
Valve going in onto Zabel once again, getting that ult
Skarner ult's down.
And they're trying to go on to...
Oh, she was dead. They got
you.
Zabel's alive.
They got him. And now they're going in for more. Rovian doing a lot of damage.
16 Kale.
Kale is still alive on this fight. Ornholt coming in, able to knock up the Kale, doing a little bit good flash away. Kanabi going down, 3 members versus 3 members right here. Zabel staying alive, trying to be the big tank for his Blueprint and Kazuto. Kazuto, a lot of damage on the backside. The Senna is going to go down pretty soon, but Ori is still here. He is unstoppable. Kazuto getting the shutdown as well. Cobalt trying to do what he can, getting the last auto attack. Now it's just Cobalt versus Blueprint, a 1v1. 2 solo laners.
Cobalt, do it, you coward.
He's looking for it.
End the game yourself.
Doesn't get rooted because of the unstoppable.
Oh no.
Going to be going in for more.
The brittle.
So close, but no more Baron minions to shove in, and Blueprint's able to save the rest of the base.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a really, really nice ultimate there from Kazuto to save Sable. And they actually were able to get the pick on the Shu right at the beginning of that fight, which was huge. But the problem was that Kazuto then, after getting that pick, took a ton of damage, just basically having to stand in the Chaos Storm. And yeah, just was really low in the fight, couldn't step up. Maybe would like to see him just walk back to base and then come back, like, because that fight took so long to actually go anywhere. But yeah, I mean, he just wasn't really able to step up and ended up having to pretty much trade for the Ornn, and yeah, just didn't quite work out. But oh no,
another fight though, another ult onto Zabel from Valve, but Valve's in a bad spot. He's in front of an entire team. He's going in, doesn't have a care in the world though, taking a lot of damage. Shoes on the backside. The Kale ult comes down, and that is a big cooldown blown for this next dragon.
Yep.
Yeah, Blueprint was just sitting top lane, maybe killing a pink ward, killing a couple straggling minions, and was nowhere to be found in that little skirmish, and now it's another Mountain Drake over to Gromp.
Yeah.
It's just gonna make it that much harder to get through Ornn and Skarner. Would like to see a little bit of a quicker back there after that first all out.
Now we got Kale level 17. So that's something, but you gotta kind of play around it a little better here. But yeah, I mean, soul point for both teams. So no objectives on the map though. So Baron gonna be coming up in about a minute. Imagine both teams gonna start thinking about that one. But yeah, Infernal's been having a little trouble in these 5v5s.
Yeah, and it looks like Gromp are setting up for this already. They're clearing down vision. The Scuttle Crab is down for them, so unfortunately, Gromp not able to clear that one out, but they just have so much control over this Baron. And their 5v5 right now is huge. Every player on their team is so big. This Ornn is so tanky. This Skarner is so tanky. You need at least 3 members to get through him, and we're gonna see what could possibly be the final fight right here, right now.
Yeah, and both sides kind of drawing battle lines here.
Ornn coming out though, going on but missing everyone. Blueprint getting rooted up. Pop Blossom coming through. That's not Blueprint, I guess. Sorry, it was the Nico. Nico going down to the Zyra ultimate. A lot of damage being put down. Luiona dead as well. Kale trying to do what he can on the backside, but we'll get rooted up. QSS comes through. Ultimate comes through, but that's not enough. You can't stay alive through this team. Tristana ultimate knocking a couple back. Kazuto is dead. He is down. That is the Kale for the Skarner, and that is your main source of damage right there from Infernal. Gromp looking to clean up this game right now. They will have super minions in the top lane looking for another minion right here. A wave coming in. And there's only a Tristana and a Hecarim against a level 18 Shu, a 16 Rovian and a 17 Cobalt. Tristana has to jump away. That's a 15-second cooldown, and he is not going to be able to clear out these minions. He just can't step up to this. So much damage to these Nexus turrets. And Zabel's trying to go in doing what he can, but he gets blown up completely. Able to stay alive with a heal, but he's pushed back. The turret goes down as well. And Infernal just can't fight back. Grump's able to pick up the inhibitor. The Nexus. They take the game.
It all happened so fast.
It was such a quick ending to a long, even game.
Yeah.
And that's 3-0 for Gromp.
Dang.
Dang
You
is right.
You gotta play these so perfectly when you're playing against their team. It's so difficult. You might feel like you're ahead, but one mistake turns into 2, and then you're behind, and then you lose. It's very difficult, very frustrating as well. It'll be interesting to see how Infernal reacts down 3-0 now. Have to run the tables.
Yep. Yeah, and it felt like a lot of that was like it was just Gromp picking the fights. Like even that very last fight, it was like Kale was all the way up at top lane, and Gromp said, "Okay, Kale's up there, cool, we'll take this fight." And they had the tools to do it. They were able to use the Skarner ult to pull Blueprint into the team, and then it was just very, very difficult for Infernal there.
Yeah, I mean, it's what you guys have been saying, right? Gromp is just such a very, very good team. They're very consistent. And as soon as Infernal makes one little slip up, one little mistake, Gromp just jump on it and snowball the game and take the victory. It's just the Kale gets caught out once. There's not enough vision for this Kale to push up safely, and they lose the game. It's heartbreaking because Infernal had such a good game plan, such a good draft to be able to counter Gromp. And they played very well for the first 20 minutes, but unfortunately, if you're not diligent all the way throughout the game, you lose your Nexus. And Gromp doing so well.
All right. Well, yeah, with that, we're going to send it to just a quick break here while we get ready for game 3 of this series here. But yeah, I mean, stay tuned. We got Gromp here on championship point for quite a while. The next 4 games, should they choose to take it that long. So Yeah, going to be Infernal's got a tough road ahead of them, but I think they might be able to do it. So we'll have to stay tuned, see how that goes.
brother!
All right, and what's up, Rec League? We're back after a little extra time there for JMO, who's getting his blue moon. Can't blame the guy. But this could be it, guys. This could be it. And so because this could be it, we got all of us here. We got 4 people here. This is uncharted territory here, guys. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Infernal's chances of pulling it back is about the same as seeing a blue moon. I mean, at this point, it's looking
I just saw one, dude. I don't know.
All right, well then, good. Let's get it, Infernal. Let's bring it all the way back. But yeah, I mean, from sitting on the couch and eating a quesadilla and watching that game, everything looked to be going right for Infernal. But as chat and I were discussing, it just felt like some of the late game macro, which we know Gromp to be super strong at, Infernal seemed to be lacking a bit. They weren't making the correct lane assignments. They weren't really figuring out a good way to play around the Kale. It kind of felt like they were ahead. They felt like they had the momentum, so they kept on trying to push that momentum into a team that's really good at like that kind of death ball 5v5 team fight.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I mean, I think everything's on the line at this point. You gotta put it all together. You gotta be able to tie your laces in a bow, put one foot in front of the other, and maybe make some progress here if we really have any hope of seeing this kind of get to 7 or 6 games.
Yep.
And I really liked what Infernal had that game, right? They played such a good, solid 20 minutes, but unfortunately made a couple of wrong macro mistakes, and Gromp took full advantage of it. They had the advantage. They had the early Baron. They had the Dragon lead, but they just didn't set up properly for the next objectives, and they got walked over at the end. But unfortunately for Infernal, they're back on red side, so they don't get that KO first. And I don't think Zabel and Blueprint have the ability to put it down the early game to deal. So I really want to see that band away, and we're going to have to see what they're able to pull out to be able to beat Gromp here.
Yep.
What are you guys expecting from them?
I don't know, man. I think, and like, I'd love to pull up the graphic of the top.
Yone.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it feels like Cobalt is like the sneaky MVP of this series for a lot of it. He has been holding Kazuto at arm's length on losing matchups for most of the game. I mean, up to a point where Kazuto just became, Kale in such a hard matchup. But when you're able to do that against who is arguably the best player on Infernal, you're just absolutely crippling that team. And time again, Cobalt's able to do this. And then as we started to get to those late game fights, Valve stepping up huge, able to make 2 picks onto Kazuto, basically just effectively ending the game right there. So I'd love to see what these top laners, or what Kazuto in particular, can do to kind of find that happy medium between being able to kind of either rest of the map and help his other lanes win with kind of the sheer raw firepower that being a really good League of Legends player gives you, or how the rest of his team can enable him to kind of be that shining star.
Yeah.
Yeah. For Infernal, it really comes down to champ select, right? They had last game a Tristana and a Leona, who are really, really strong at doing the level 2 all-in against Zyra and Senna. But Zabel started topside. He went for the enemy red buff, then his own blue buff. And unfortunately, Gromp saw this and were able to attack the bot side themselves and put that early pressure from Fat Super Dude Kanabi behind really, really early on into the game. We saw a really smart level 1 coming out from Rovian, Spence Champ, and Valib, where they just cut off that super dude from the lane and they killed him. And if you pick this sort of early game pressure, you need to play to it, or else you're just giving Gromp whatever they want. And it just feels kind of bad.
And I will say that is a hard style to pull off. Like, being able to play early game is not easy, and it's something you really have to work at. And being able to play like both sides of being like, we're really good at late game scaling and really good at early game, don't necessarily always go hand in hand, which is why we usually see teams just have like really lean in hard. Like Gromp has that kind of like late game kind of superpower identity and not so much like the early game powerhouse. Granted, they've had some really good early games this game so far. For example, Bramble just kind of time and time again became that like steamroll you by like 26 minutes team. So being able to play both sides of it is hard. And it feels like Infernal's not 100% sure what their identity is going into this. We've seen them have some success, like kind of just like steamrolling some games. We've also seen them try and pull off like the late game comps. But with Kale off the table, I'm imagining Kale's off the table. They need to have some kind of answer to this early game, because I don't know what other kind of late game threats you want to go toe to toe with Gromp with.
Yeah, I mean, Kale's definitely off the table, right? Because either you ban it as Infernal or Gromp first picks it because they know you don't have an answer.
Yeah.
And I don't have any answers for Infernal. Like we saw first game, they tried their hardest to counter the Kale. They didn't put any pressure towards it. They went for a kind of scaling jungler and Graves, and they weren't able to match Gromp in the team fight. We see the converse where they went for Kale themselves. They tried to play up the scaling, and they just couldn't match Gromp's late game macro. So they either have to go for all in early game and try to win through pressure, lane pressure, and early objectives, or I think this is just a 4-0 for Gromp.
Yeah, it's too bad you can't just let them let Gromp have Kale and say, no, she's not allowed to have it. Let's put it on Cobalt. Like, that's just not the way that Champ Select works, because that'd be great. What the fuck is Jamie doing? Oh, no, that's Raisin. I thought it was your naked thigh. I thought you were just, like, putting up some, like, really well-shaven legs, and I was like, God damn, Jamie, you need to see more sun, dude.
What's in, dude?
Showing in your shirt. Wait,
Let
another
her
tie. Let her pop up the
Dude,
top.
I don't know. This is some not safe for work stuff. I'm seeing some.
Yeah, sorry,
some
Cat goes inside.
sorry,
Yeah,
sorry, guys. I had to swap us off the cameras here,
Fair.
because we are getting into Champ Select, but
Oh man. But yeah,
Get
so
what
right
you
here we're gonna
want.
see the power picks taken off the table. Kane, Camille taken away from Kazuto and Sable, and we're seeing that Kale ban. These bans are going quick. Malphite being taken away from Cobalt. What do we got next? Malzahar? Sure.
Same thing.
Yep, Gromp's banned the same thing every game. Infernal here, replacing their Amumu ban with a Kale ban.
No Cinnabon though.
No, they don't have enough bans.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yep.
So we can probably expect that first 3 picks then, yeah.
I imagine.
Probably,
I mean, yeah. Unless they pick it up right here, right now.
Ooh, I don't know if that super guy plays that. Do we know?
He's played it.
Yeah, he's played it. I think he played quite a bit in the regular season.
I wouldn't say it's most comfortable. Here we go. We're seeing the Shen being picked up. This is what Mind's Desire was saying in the chat, as maybe like what he'd like to see Kazuto kind of default to if this Kale's banned in this top lane matchup. Paired up with the Amumu that we've been seeing kind of on that pick ban. Obviously not quite as strong as we saw it during the first round of playoffs, but still Amumu, still a powerhouse. Really good at that 5v5, which it seems like Infernal just wants to do. Regardless of the game state, regardless of how their lanes are doing, they want to tussle. So Amumu going over to Sable. Okay. Galio. For Shu or for Spence?
I think it's for Spence in the bot lane. Just get
The suspense. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the
Very,
suspense
very
is
much
killing me, but
suspense,
it's no longer killing me. Yeah. Silas being picked up for Shu. Shu's already got an Amumu ult to pick up.
Ooh.
He's feeling pretty good about that.
And Blueprint here. considering either the Yasuo or the Lucian.
Edging.
Let's think about it.
Edging on some really spicy picks right here.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, baby.
Going with the Lucian.
And I imagine
All
this
right.
could this be a Shen support or a Shen jungle or an Amumu top?
Oh, I'm gonna go with yes, but probably not to all of those.
I think it's a Lucian mid for Blueprint.
Yes.
I think it's a Shen
Too.
top for
Lucian
Kazuto.
doesn't- Yeah, Lucian doesn't seem like a fast super champ.
Yeah.
No, well, no, Fast Super Dude does play Lucian, but I think Lucian is a good pick into Silas. Just being an early game bully who Silas will have a very hard time of getting on top of. You're going to be able to put Shu pretty much into his turret the entire game and force him to farm up there. So we really need Zabel to just help out this Lucian and not let Valib get some early cheesy gank.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, no jungler picked. We're seeing the Nunu being taken away. Very smart. Do not need that nonsense ruining your early game or what semblance of an early game Infernal really has right now. So, and Leona taken away. Interesting. Okay, yeah. I can dig that Leona ban. I'd love to see Kanabi just play some Bard. I know that Bard's just, it's not necessarily particularly good right now for any one reason or another, but like Kanabi's so good at that champion that it can be one of those picks that's like surprising and can kind of warp the game state. And at this point, I just want to see that warped game state. Ooh,
Swain, all right. Yeah, and this is
okay.
This is probably bot lane Swain for Fat Super Dude, right?
No, Swain is going to Kanabi 100%. It's the same thing as the Bard, right? It's the champion he's very comfortable on,
Okay.
but it does a lot of damage, where the Bard is kind of just a comfortable champ that can make plays. The Swain is going to be really, really strong.
Yep.
All right.
Mundo here for Valib.
Yep. All right. So yeah, Adolma and I were debating before about like who's got some of the best clears on this patch. He was saying that Mundo has arguably just as good a clear as Kane. We're gonna see whether or not that's true. Mundo being a total beast in the jungle.
Yeah.
However, very notably, this team is lacking
I called it.
a lot of some of the CC.
Ooh.
It feels.
Oh, I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't.
right.
I didn't call it. But either way, look, going double mage bot lane here for Infernal. They got the Zyra and the Swain. That's a fun lane.
I feel like you probably have Prio on this Ezreal. I mean, Ezreal's definitely not in his strongest state ever.
Oh, 100% you have Prio in this bot lane. You've double range into Ezreal Galio. You push this all day long. But the issue is, for Infernal late game, their only AD source of damage is this Lucian. And you're against an Ornn, a Mundo, and a Galio, who are all very tanky champions
Yes.
and can live for so long in these team fights. So if this Lucian gets put behind early, I'm feeling really, really scared for Infernal. So they have to help out Blueprint in this lane. They have to get him ahead. They have to get him his item.
I dig it. I mean, it's kind of a cool thing that like Infernal is willing when like their back is up against the wall. They're just saying like Sable saying, "Don't worry, guys, I'll play the tank jungler." Kaz just saying, "Don't worry, guys, I'll play the tank top lane. The rest of the map, you guys are the star." So like, if this works and they're able to try and like play around the other lanes of the map, this could be. I mean, it's a different look. If nothing else, it's a different look than what we've been seeing so far, and maybe that's just what Infernal needs. It's just something different to shake things up.
Yeah, I mean, at 2 games in, right? You kind of got to say like, you know, what we've been doing isn't working, and they're trying something different, and you know, I'm very into that. Notably, this feels like the first time this series that Infernal really has like a true front line that they can work with, which is exciting. We'll see how that's gonna help them fare in some of these fights. But yeah, and they got. I think my big question going into this game is how they're going to be using this channel, because it's going to be all about setting up those proactive channel plays. If they can do that, I think Infernal's actually in a pretty okay spot to potentially win this game. But if they're just reacting to Gromp's aggression again, you know, that there's only so much you can do there.
Yeah, I mean, you have the tools, right? Shen is in this matchup against Ornn, which you could probably say is maybe very slightly in favor of Shen for most of the early game.
Definitely, yes.
Yeah, so like Shen, like Kazuto should have no problem being able to say, all right, I'm going to dip lane for like 2 seconds and it's not going to be the end of the world. Like Cobalt's not necessarily going to like end my day if I decide to leave lane and have an unsuccessful teleport. So hopefully he feels empowered to be able to leave his map or leave there and kind of go help the rest of the map. That all being said, the Amumu late game is still quite strong. And it is quite good into 8, like kind of these like tanky picks with having that MR shred kind of innately built into Amumu, which then pairs up very nicely with having this dual mage bottom. If we get to that point where we are in these 5v5 skirmishes and Amumu is able to kind of be that kind of debuff bot along with all that CC, this could be pretty impactful, but it just relies so heavily on both Blueprint and Fast Super Dude being able to do the damage in these fights. And Zyra in particular being an immobile mage against the likes of like an Ornn, a Mundo running at you, Silas, and Galio, like that's a tall order. So you got to really just kite it out. And we've seen Fast Super Dude with varying success being able to do that during these games. So, I mean, back up against the wall, pick a new pick the mage, but you still got to do the same stuff.
I mean, that is fair, but I think they could also try to let the Swain farm in this lane rather than the Zyra. Give the Zyra the support item, let the Swain get all the CS, and get him really big. Because there's not a lot of people that can actually deal with a fed Swain on this enemy team. The Shu can, but other than that, the Swain's just going to be able to walk in the middle of the other team and just heal up a lot of the damage that's going to be put out. But the other point I want to make is this feels very reminiscent to me of Game 1, where Infernal have 3 pushing lanes with the Swain, Zyra, the Lucian, and the Shen. And now you have Valib on not the Mundo, which is really key for their gameplay. They're going to be shoved into their turrets. They're going to be putting down a lot of pressure, and it's going to allow Zabel to try to either A, scale up to 6, or make some fancy ass dives under turret and pick off some weak.
Yep. And with that, I'm going to have to cut you off, Darth Tags. We're getting into game.
Let's go.
Yeah, we got the...
Hopefully this isn't the last game. I want Infernal to win. I want all 7 games. I'm sure we all do.
Yeah, we got the intro thing to go.
We muted.
I think so.
You guys weren't.
Bye.
Hello. Goodbye.
Yo, I'll put a shot on Infernal right now.
Oh yeah.
Not muted. I don't care.
What? No, we were totally muted
out?
there. Oh yeah.
Not muted.
Anyway.
Totally muted there, guys. I don't know what you're talking about. Kanabi though.
Infernal going big on the Kanabi.
Kanabi gets muted right there.
No. I love to see some Infernal's sad. That was so aggressive by Gromp, and I love it. Gromp just kind of trying, like we talk about all the things that Gromp's been doing this season. You can only analyze what you've seen so far, and what we've seen is this slow, passive, early game from Gromp. But Gromp obviously trying to throw wrenches in that plan, making so many good level 1 plays. Goddamn, they are always coming out of these level 1s ahead, and then able to kind of continue snowballing that. So good play from Gromp.
Yeah, it's a scary start.
It's also just smart from them in the series mindset. Like they're up 3 games, they only have 1 more to win. If they lose this, they don't really care that much. So might as well throw the level 1 out.
Yeah.
If you have the stronger level 1, you can go for it. You get the advantage. That's fine.
Yeah, and I don't mean to put a damper on the conversation, but God, I love this Mundo skin. I've never seen it before.
That's a cool one.
I'm just like watching him mesmerized. It's so he's so well dressed. I love it.
Dude, he's dressed for his victory speech. I think at this point, that's what it's looking like.
Yep, dressed to impress.
But Shu falling so low in this mid lane. Blueprint doing such a good job of zoning and bullying Shu. Shu's got to back it up.
Yeah, that's how you got to play this lane as the Lucian.
Yeah, but
Yep.
unfortunately, Blueprint put his ward down in the lane, so he won't have enough defense against Valib's gang. But it looks like Valib's going in for a cheeky invade onto Zabel.
Ooh, and they're gonna bump gloves. Flash forward by Valib, flash away from Sable.
Oh no.
Sable's trying to get out of here, but
Wrong
this is
way,
looking
dude.
like this might be lights out. Fast Super Dude's roaming up, and so is Blueprint. Valib might be in a rough spot. They might be trying to get this gold onto the right carry. Blueprint's able to get the kill. Honestly, a 1-for-1, getting some assist gold onto more members of the team.
And a red buff.
And a red buff, baby. Thirst Blood is already gone. I don't know. Feeling like it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, red buff here onto the Lucian is huge, obviously, and then just the fact that both the lanes had priorities so that they could do that was huge. Neither lane had to wave those crashing into tower while they were getting that kill onto Valib. So, I mean, all things considered, pretty good for Infernal, especially when that's like the big aggression play that Mundo's trying to make.
Sure.
I'm gonna be looking at this bot lane here because Kanabi's been absolutely crushing it, hitting a ton of these never moves, but haven't seen a lot of follow up from Fat Super Dude. I know
Fat
you
Super
said
Dude's been eating a lot of the Ezreal poke. Ooh,
Yeah.
there he goes.
Oh, no, Sable.
Sable.
Sable, no.
Sable.
Oh, TP
Sable
though.
living as
TP.
long as he can. Yeah, TP's coming in. Blueprint trying to kite around this fight. He is out of mana. Kanabi's here, but Rovian's right behind him.
Ooh.
That's going to be Kazuto just trying to
the
kite this
heal.
one out. Nice heal from Fat Super Dude. Rovian's here. But Blueprint's going untouched. Rovian's now just decided. Great flash by Blueprint. Get the auto attack. Not able to get it. There we go. Fat Super Dude able to pick that one up. Double kill for Rovian. Fat Super Dude able to pick up that kill. And they're able to walk away. This is a bloody one, boys.
Yeah, but that whole thing, we have one teleport blown from Kazuto, and Cobalt's just happily farming away, pushing this into turret, and the Shen counterpick into the Ornn isn't doing as well as we want because Cobalt's just able to free farm up here.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, these junglers both having a rough time, both 2 deaths apiece. At this point, just kind of feeling like they need to scale. A scuffle here in the mid lane. Valib is in the back pocket. Blueprint and Shu going at it. Blueprint falling dangerously low. Cleaver's going to hit. Amumu's here, but Valib's going to take him down. Definitely good look from Gromp. But yeah, Sable's just going to walk away from this. I mean, he's only level 3. He needs to dip on out of this situation. Kanabi's here roaming up, trying to be the good homie, maybe absorb some of this farm.
And Sable's just getting invaded again by the Mundo here. Yeah, this is exactly how you want to play this matchup as the Mundo.
Stun, but that's still not going to be enough. Kanabi's not in range to really follow up on that. And now Valib is 2 levels ahead of this Amumu. It's really feeling bad.
Yeah, and this
Kazuto
Valib
trying to get the taunt.
He's just so good. Brian, I think you're behind a little bit on us.
I've been kind of dropping a frame or 2 here and there. There we go.
All right.
Yeah, Valve's pathing has been
Cool.
so crisp. He's following Zabel everywhere he goes in this jungle, being where he needs to be to invade at the perfect time, and he knows when his laners have the advantage to go in for the invade. And he's just pressing this advantage so well.
Ooh, but meanwhile, in the bot lane, there's a little bit of action. Nice little never move on to Rovian. Fast Super Dude getting a little bit of HP chunked out. But still, if Kanabi's supposed to be picking up the CS, he's not doing a very good job, but neither is Fat Super Dude. He is falling so far behind.
Yeah, and Shu looking pretty good in this mid lane. Got put behind a little bit, but is currently level 6. And honestly, I want to see Blueprint be able to put more of her onto Shu here because you really need to push that Lucian's advantage.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. Sable's just so far behind. Having any kind of impact right now is tough. But here we go. Ornhorn going up top. This is looking like a solo kill for Cobalt on to Kazuto. 9 kills already for the side of Gromp at 7 minutes. This is a bloodbath, and Gromp is coming out on top. Teleport into the mid lane from Silas. Shu stealing the ultimate, the culling in the hands of Shu. Blueprint's going to call one way, but you got Kazuto looking like that's going to be a kill onto Blueprint. Great teleport from Kazuto. able to make something out of getting solo killed by Cobalt up there. You like to see that.
Yeah, and that's technically not a solo kill because Kazuto did have the ultimate, so you did not win the bet, Nolan Knight. But really well played from Infernal, picking something out of a bad situation. And honestly, Shu just going a little bit over aggressive there.
Yeah. And right now, this Ezreal's pretty happy to just continue doing what he's doing, just farming up, chilling out. But he's in a great spot being this much CS up. That's going to be a quick little trade down their bot lane. But yeah, I mean, things are looking pretty good for Gromp, just about every lane.
Yeah, Cobalt having a 1 level lead over Kazuto. Kazuto just hitting 7, was 6 previously, and this top lane Ornn is feeling so good right now. Can pretty much go in for whatever trade he wants. Just bullying the Shen.
A little bit trading back and forth, but Pain's going out onto Valib, who's eating up Sable's jungle. Sable going in, though, hoping to have Kazuto in his back pocket. But Valib's just going to chase him away off these camps. He's going to try and get as much damage on him as he can, flashing away. Kazuto's here to maybe try and clean things up. But, oh, man, Sable overstepping, getting a little bit too greedy, and that's going to be a trade of kills. Shutdown gold going over onto Sable, so I guess we call that one worth. Still, Kazuto wasting a little bit of time there, and Kanabi forced to roam up as well.
Yeah, and it just means that Rovian and Spence Champ get free time with the start. Fat Super Dude not able to do a lot in this lane. Down 30 CS already to the Ezreal Galio. That is so rough. That level 1 definitely affecting the lane really hard. Kanabi having to play super safe without that flash.
Yeah, and I mean, this top lane is just finally... Cobalt's pretty excited that he's got a tank v tank matchup because he eats this shit for breakfast. Kazuto's falling so low to that brittle pocket, and it's Miller time. Kazuto trying to dash away, but once again, that's going to be oh no, the flash away from Kazuto, but the auto attack does not miss. Cobalt getting the solo kill onto Kazuto in the top lane. Meanwhile, on the bot side jungle, there's a little bit of a scuffle here. It looks like Sable and Blueprint trying to make the most of this little jungle scuffle. Curse of the Sad Mummy going on down, but this is going to be a nice little stun onto Blueprint. Blueprint flashing away, but he's going to fall to Valib. Sable following shortly, double kill from Valib, and right now Gromp are just steamrolling this game. Ezreal getting the kill in the bot lane onto Kanabi. Just lanes winning across the map, regardless of jungle pressure. Fat Super Dude, you're in the wrong hood, homie. This is not your tower. This is honestly not looking like it's really your series, but you got to figure out something. Here you are. You're going to get stunned up. Rovian taking you down, and that is going to be almost like what would have almost been a clean ace for Gromp had respawn timers not been so fast.
And Gromp looking so good. Solo kills across the map right here. Kanabi and Fast Super Dude trying to make something in the bot lane, but unfortunately, they just didn't have the damage. Rovian picking up 1. Valib here for the gank after the successful jungle invade, and Infernal just in shambles right now. They're down 6k gold at 10 minutes. It's way too much.
Yep.
It's way too much.
And like, you always kind of have to keep, like, Gromp's probably going to get some kind of lead, and you always need to keep them at like arm's length. At this point, this feels already like a runaway train, and it's only 11 minutes in. Obviously, there's a lot of things you can do to try and negate this kind of lead, but to what extent, how much gold can you really try and negate at this point? Cobalt's going to be ahead. Cobalt's going to be almost like a win more champ with his Ornn, if they even get to a point where Ornn starts dishing out items at level 14.
Yeah, plus this is just the Gromp team you played 2 times before who have beaten you very handily in the late game.
Oh, here we go. Pull onto Rovian in the bot lane, but there's going to be the ultimate coming out from Spence Champ. Kanabi answering as well, trying to zone in. There's going to be an ultimate coming in from Kazuto with the Stand United. Root onto Spence Champ. Spence Champ flashing away, trying to get out of here. He's going to be going in, but he's going to be taken down by Kanabi. But that's going to be Cobalt taking the tower into the top lane, being able to answer that pressure from Kazuto. But Kazuto going to get the taunt onto Shu, but Shu sees an opening. Blueprint dashing away, culling coming out, and that is going to be a brutal culling. Rovian is going to take down Kazuto on the backside there. Fat Super Dude and Sable need to dip on out away from this Mundo. And Valib Oh, Valve just doesn't care about this tower. He doesn't care where you are. He doesn't care where you come from. He will eat you all the same. But nice! Curse of the Sad Mummy by Sable onto a bunch of getting the stun onto Shu. Shu's gonna fall to Fat Super Dude. Rovian just trying to do some fancy stuff. He might want to dip, but he's not gonna. He's gonna get rooted up, eat a little bit of some damage for here from Fat Super. But Fat Super Dude does not have enough gold to make anything magical happen here.
And Shu played that so well. He waited out so many abilities and used his at the perfect time, able to pick up a couple kills for himself. And Zabel on the backside had a good amount of stuns under the turret, but like that was a 3v4 under the turret. And somehow Gromp were able to put enough pressure down to be able to take this. Like Cobalt is just sitting in the top lane, able to put down a lot of pressure, take the turret out.
There you go, the True Shot Barrage going through onto Fat Super Dude. Great root onto Kanabi to just save Fat Super Dude's life. Teleport coming in from Kazuto, going right onto Rovian. Rovian's going to fall here. Last auto attack, shut down gold, going over to Kazuto. Spence Champ getting rooted up. Great root by Kanabi. They're trying to make the plays. Rooted up once more, but Valib's here. Kazuto trying to get in there, trying to protect his boys. Shu's going to take down Blueprint elsewhere on the map. Fat Super Dude getting smited, taunt going on to Valib, but Valib doesn't care. Mundo goes where Mundo wants, and that is into... I don't know where he's going. He's going to the jungle. He doesn't care. He's gonna mad B. Triple kill.
Triple kill. Yeah, and you are definitely like 5 seconds behind Brian.
Am I?
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah.
But Shu, while that was happening, got a solo kill onto Blueprint. Looking like this lane is going in favor of him. Now got Infernal for Gromp. Or no,
there you go.
sorry.
Teleport in. Hijacking the Amumu.
There we go.
There it is. Curse of the Sad Mummy going on to 2. Shu missing the abduct there.
Oh,
so
no.
Here comes Blueprint. Blueprint's locked up forever. He's just gonna fall. Oh man. Yeah, Valve doesn't care about any of this.
He cares a little bit.
Oh, he cares. Yeah, I guess he cares now. But I don't think Gromp cares. I don't think Gromp as a whole, as a collective, cares.
Yeah, the only person I think who cares is Wild Tortuga, who's doing a shot per death for Valib, and Valib is making sure you get good and drunk.
Yep, it's
a few.
Valib wants to make sure he makes the most of the situation.
Yeah, as Nolark puts out, it's a really good TP from the Ornn, getting that knock up onto 2 members, really supporting his team, and 4-0 right now. Cobalt doing so well in these matches versus Kazuto. Really playing all these games super well.
And yeah, I mean, right now, 10k gold lead at 15 minutes. It's a big yikes. And this is not particularly the most forgiving comp to be playing in terms of like where you want to be positioned at this time. It's not like you have that auto win button come 30 minutes. Yeah, you really got to work for it. And right now, Infernal really needs to put on the carry pants. It's a rough one.
Fire, man. They're still a little damp.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but in each of these games, we've seen Infernal put pressure towards mid. Blueprint relatively holds even in CS with Shu. But Rovian and Cobalt have been able to amass such big CS leads in these lanes. It's kind of crazy. And the story is you can kind of keep Shu a little bit behind, but the rest of Gromp is still going to succeed. And we're seeing pings from Shu going on to Kazuto.
Yep, going to get the dash in, taunt through Shu. Because Kazuto just can't really fight this one. You're not going to win this fight against Shu. Culling coming through. Hourglass coming in as well. Going golden buying time. Cobalt, though, is on the back line, eating up Sable. Blueprint's going to take down Spence Champ. This is looking like a big W. This is about as big a W as you can get if you're Infernal, but Valve is trying. He might be able to just win this. No, he's going to get taken down by Kazuto. And that is a 3-0. Let's go. That's moves, baby. They made them.
It's something.
Yeah. That is definitely something.
Something's better than the opposite.
Yep.
Something better than nothing.
Take what they give you.
Yeah.
Baby. I mean, honestly, like, yeah, we were just saying how far ahead they were, and I mean, Gromp getting a little trigger happy. Who knows how many more times they're going to do that? Kind of whiff a lot of their key spells, and pay for it.
Yep. Yeah, and thankfully, Infernal finally has both their Sunfire capes finished. So that definitely felt like it made a pretty big difference in that fight, being able to actually do that, because earlier it was just 2 Sunfires and extra items against like Sunfire components. So now at least they're gonna actually be able to do a little more damage there with that.
Oh man, who's more Infernal? Who's more behind, Infernal or me? Yikes, that's a good one.
That's pretty good.
Spicy. MVP rune.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's so good. But yeah, unfortunately for Infernal, I mean, Shu and Gromp kind of did overstep right there, but it kind of just shows that Gromp know that they can get beat and they'll play more cautiously, which sucks because you really want them to overstep when there's an objective on the map that Infernal can kind of take advantage of.
Mm-hmm.
But then there was no Baron, there was no Rift Herald, there was no Dragon, so Gromp didn't really lose anything other than a couple of shutdowns. And now they're just pressuring a bunch of lanes, summoning Rift Herald, shoving up mid, and Infernal can't really do anything to stop this.
Yep. Here, meanwhile, in top lane, Kazuto having to taunt away. Shu is on that booty. He wants to eat it like groceries. He hasn't eaten for weeks, and I think that booty is considered eaten.
Oh, not quite.
No! There's still a few groceries left.
Yeah, and on the other side, on the other side of the map, they're trying to catch out Valib, and they actually were eventually able to get him, but it's costing them a whole lot to get that kill onto the Mundo here.
Yeah, with the Rift Herald summon, they're able to take out the inhibitor.
Oh, here comes the Stand United coming in from Kazuto. But they're not going to be able to make anything happen with that here. Inhibitor are going to be going down. Yeah, I mean, they're trading. They're trading and they haven't lost yet. So, I mean, anything's good, right?
Yeah, and something's better than nothing. As Jamie once famously said.
True.
But yeah, Gromp able to pick up this air Drake for themselves, putting themselves on air soul point at 20 minutes, looking for more. And we have Kazuto souling the Baron right now.
Yeah. With the Amumu helping here, they should be able to take this down. Actually, this is smart. I like this from Infernal. This is nice. Yeah, all of Gromp's just going back.
They did get spotted out on a pink ward though, so Gromp knows this is happening.
Oh no.
Teleport from Shu. He does have it. He just needs to finish his back, but this is gonna be too late.
Yep, they got
They're
it.
gonna get this.
They got it.
Nice.
Get out!
Wow.
Dip! Get out of here!
Run! All right.
Scram!
They're out. They got it. They're out. That's it.
Let's go! Put on your rally caps, boys. Give me some exclamation point Infernals. We gotta bring this back for Infernal. We want to be here longer. I don't want my night to end. I've already had 2 margaritas, baby. Gotta put them to use. Yeah, I know. I need a 3rd one, but I'm here.
Don't worry, we'll have plenty of time to make another in the 5-minute break between games after Infernal comes back in this one.
I like your gumption. Dip, Sable, dip! Secret Agent Sable.
Now, Infernal's still on the back foot. They have the Baron minions to save them a little bit, but like they just can't fight.
Yep.
They're 10k behind. They're so far behind in this game. They really need these super minions to push in the bot lane for them to farm up. And they just have to really.
They've been kind of fighting, and they haven't been totally losing. But yeah, I mean, they just got to use this as a chance to just funnel more gold into them. Like, just use this as your chance to buy time, get some levels. But I mean,
never mind, they're going in.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zabel getting a good ultimate down.
Oh, geez.
Great. That's going to be the calling going across. There's a lot of damage. The Swain ultimate is here. He's cannot be flashing into the back line. Sable going in, trying to kite off Cobalt. Everyone's having to flash in and out. Yeah, I mean, this is not looking bueno for the side of Infernal.
Yeah, Mundo even lives. No way.
Just a little bit. And that's going to be the Wrath issue.
I mean, they're still alive.
Oh, Fat Super Dude, no. All right. I mean, shoot goes down. That's something. Better than nothing.
Yeah. So,
Valve also looking a little close to death right here.
Hey.
It's been looking like that for like a minute.
Yeah.
But they got him.
Yeah. Kanabi picking up the kill there.
Sorry, you ruined that for me. I wasn't there yet.
Oh.
spoiler.
Fucking spoilers. All
Sorry.
right, Ted, you take play-by-play because I obviously
Yes.
can't do it right now.
Yep.
Fair enough.
I'll just yell at the end. I'll yell.
Yeah. And
I'll be your hype man.
one of the big things that Infernal has done is that they do have 3 grievous wounds already, which I think has been a pretty big factor in actually being able to do something in these fights, keeping the healing on Shu and Valib down. So yeah, I mean that is one of the nice things about preseason. You can just throw that, you just put that shit on everything.
Yeah, 800 gold. 1-800 buy this item, and it'll reduce all the healing.
Yep.
And a nice thing to see from the Infernal side is that they're actually keeping up in levels, which is really big for them. Because the last couple of games, Shu has been level 18 by this point, and he just becomes so big that you can't deal with it. But Blueprint's 14, Kazuda's 14, and more in the top lane. Kazuda getting caught out by 3 members from Gromp right here, getting knocked up, stunned up. But the rest of the team's coming in. The teleport in from the Illusion. Blueprint getting knocked up by the Ornal as well. Kazuda going down, ultimate coming out, but there's not enough. Double kill for the Mundo, looking for a triple for himself. Valid walking around the wall. Blueprint nowhere to go, sitting in the alcove, but
the game
Rogan's able to pick that up. And now we have a teleport coming in. This might be the end of the game. Shu looking to push this one with it. Double teleport coming in. Cobalt and Shu on the Nexus turret. Infernal just nowhere around. Fast Supertude able to back first. Kanabi is here as well. They're looking for more. They're trying to defend their base, but what can they do? The inhibitor responds. They can't take it out. Coming in, though, is the Galio. They're able to pick up Kanabi. Zyra on the backside, try and do what she can, but she isn't able to put out any damage. The inhibitor is going to go down to Shu and Cobalt. Valve walking in, taking minions as well. Zabel has respawned, looking to go for more, but has to just defend the base.
Guys, I don't want to be. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, no, you're up.
I don't want to be a biased caster here, and I would love to see the comeback, but I'm like that guy in the family party who's put down the beer, put down the champagne. I'm on to coffee. I'm ready to drive home. I think Gromp has this. You know what I'm saying? Get that little cup of coffee in the tiny little paper cup.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not very good, but it gets the job done.
Absolutely.
Oh man.
That was a really good one. But Air Drake has spawned. Gromp looking to secure this soul for themselves. The ultimates are going to be so reduced. Mundo looking to run around when he procs that R, and they get the soul. They're pinging for Zabel right now. They know he's in no man's land.
Run Sable.
Sable ain't running out of
my
boy.
Nowhere. Orno coming out across, getting the knock up, and 5-man versus 1. Mumu going, but he can't do anything. He's just dead.
Yeah.
Just in a bad spot. And now Gromp just pushing into the spot lane. Has Super Zabel going in on the Fast Super Dude, getting the knock up, getting the stun, has the Swain ultimate. About to pop and going in. Gromp is here, 5-man against Kanabi and Fast Super Dude. Fast Super Dude goes down to Riven, good EQ combo, and now they're going on, getting 2 kills. Blueprint trying to dash away, do what he can. Shadow teleport comes in, they get a
shot, Tuga.
Another shot towards Tuga. Kazuto is here, doesn't go in for the taunt yet, gets taunted up by Galio. Goes up, gets knocked up. Galio coming in. Cobalt is unstoppable. 5-0-9 on this champ. Looking so good in this series. Shu going in, trying to kill Blueprint. Able to stay alive for a little bit. Sable going in with the ultimate. Able to get 3, but that's not enough. There's so many people here. He doesn't have any damage. Shu slays Blueprint. Orn slays the Umumu. And we're going to get the end of the game. And Gromp picking up the victory. And the Season 7 mug.
Ever. Gromp going from potentially one of the worst teams attempts in all of Rec League history religiously into what has overnight been the success story of the century. 0 to hero, literally the 100% turnaround. They've done it. They will be getting their mugs in the mail, and they will be drinking out of all of them. Valid will be getting his first mug. Everyone else will be double fisting or even triple fisting. Shu's got one for his dog at this point. So, I mean, god damn! And
We
they
need
make
to
it look
change-
so easy.
Got my coffee.
We're gonna have to change the banner
to
from
drive
the
home.
2P to the 3P.
I know. I mean, like, would this have changed if it was a best of 8? Probably not. Would this have changed if it was a best of 10? Probably not.
Maybe.
I think the analysts had all said that Gromp had the upper hand in this scenario. And to be fair, it looked like it. And I don't know. It just looked like they showed up to play. And they honestly they overperformed past my expectations. They actually had some early game shenanigans planned that kind of put them in such a good position going into those like early to mid games, which they usually don't have lined up. So overall, Gromp coming up big with that.
Yeah, and I honestly feel really bad for Wild Tortuga's liver because that's 9 shots out of
I'm
his
about to
team.
join him. I'm grabbing. I brought my tequila into the other room. Excuse me. I'll let you guys talk amongst yourselves for a moment while I.
I'm
Go.
not gonna. I'll watch.
That's fine. You can talk or you can watch them talk.
You know, I just
No, I meant take
played-
shots.
Oh.
I'm not taking.
Here on the analyst desk, we're not going to talk anymore.
So
That's it. But yeah, Gromp played so well. Every member of their team played exactly how they needed to. Valib carried game 1 on the Nunu. Rovian and Cobalt held their laners. They farmed up super well. Were able to come out in these late game team fights. Spence Champ was doing so much, able to provide the CC that the team needs, going in for those targets. And Shu, I mean, there's nothing more to say about Shu at this point. Like, y'all know he's just so good at this game, and he got his 3rd mug.
So
Got
did
it.
Rovian.
So
Rovian's big time. Rovian gained the triple mug as well.
Yeah,
I think
hell yeah.
I think he heard us that we were saying hadn't played anyone but Senna in a while, and then was like, all right, I'll prove it to you. Let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, why not have a little bit of fun? It was your last game of the season. You looked great. The Mundo was big nutty. I mean, unlike what I think I died on Mundo in the jungle to jungle camps during my first finals. Valib during her first finals, he didn't die to a single jungle camp. Like, the guy's insane.
Yeah, I believe it was a red buff that took you out.
Probably not. It was probably something like our Krugs or Raptors. I don't usually die to buffs. I'm not a big buff dyer. Although you can check the tapes.
I'm telling you, that's the big stat we need to pull out for off season. How many or who's the jungler who's died most to jungle camps? I want to know that stat.
You gotta know.
Yeah.
But yeah, with that, I mean, we should probably get some interview lobby all set up. We're gonna bring in all of the Infernal boys. Why don't we just throw it to a quick timer while we get that set up, and don't go away. And we will be back with some winners interviews at the end of season 7. Good job.
All right, and just like that, good job. We got
Good job.
yeah, we have
Woo!
yeah, we got some Gromp members in the lobby here with us. How's it going, Gromp? Congratulations on the season 7 win. You guys looked awesome, and yeah, congratulations.
Big Gromp energy.
Big chimpin'.
Appreciate the kind words, guys. Feels
Yeah,
good.
super appreciated.
Feels
It was
good.
fun. It was a good time. GG's to Infernal.
So this whole season, I know the goal going in was 4 people wanted to have fun, and then Valab wanted to decimate, and he wanted a mug. So it looks so. How did you do on both fronts? Did you guys have a good time? Because you did really good on the latter half.
We had a blast.
Not all talk at once.
I mean, look at the last game was a blast. We're all over the map.
We
40
just wanted
kills.
the brawl last game.
That's not Gromp.
Yeah. But we also did want to slap hard.
All right,
I
sorry.
mean, winning is
you-
fun, so we just prioritize winning, and then we have more fun. So
I think I've heard that one before.
Also, it has roll one trick, so it's okay.
I just wanted to win. I don't care about having fun, but we had fun along the way. That was good.
Ooh.
Fun is overrated.
Dude, I was ready to play the most boring stuff ever if I needed to secure the bag, and we secured the bag. But
And then
No, it was
this
a lot
man
of fun.
plays
I mean,
Mundo
like-
and literally fucking tower dives at level 3.
That shit was wild. All right, so question to like the 4 returning members to this interview. I guess what are some of the differences between like this and this? I guess Infernal versus Gromp. What's the difference? Like last season Infernal, this season Gromp. What have kind of been the like differences that you've kind of felt?
Being the rep feels really weird.
I mean, personally, like I haven't been able to play much. Ravin hasn't been able to play much either. So just like the amount of games we've been able to play has been really weird. So it's created like a different dynamic where we've needed to win games in different ways because we're just not as good as we used to be.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah.
That's very scary. Yeah.
I came to a point where I was just like, I'm not going to be winning this off
Let's
of
get some
mechanical
words,
skill,
boys. Come
so
on, why
I'm
y'all
just
so
going to focus
quiet?
on my communications, and thus I've been just focusing on comms like for the past several weeks. It's been really good.
That's been the biggest. That's the biggest difference to me, though, is that like I mean, in regards to like, so Ravin and I were worse, which means that we needed somebody else to like really step up. So Chris and Neil have really, or Cobalt and Neil have really been stepping up for us. Spence's like super done his part as well, but like those two have made the biggest difference in regards to like how well they were playing comparative to the beginning of the season.
I would agree with that. I would say that Cobalt was probably pretty good for most of the season. I'd say that Mr. Valid has really come into his own as arguably the best jungler ever, or best jungler in Rect League aside from Adoma. But Adoma didn't get any kills in playoffs, so I mean,
Yeah. I didn't get a single kill in playoffs, so you know, here we are.
but yeah, no, just big kudos to that. So I guess taking a step back and looking at just like this matchup as a whole, what were some of the things like the small like cliff notes of what you're looking to do against Infernal this week?
They tilt hard. So if we get ahead early and they die in a way they don't think they should have died, like the Nunu for instance, like the game just sort of crumbles to pieces. So like the Nunu camp mid was super obvious, and it was like, all right, well Blueprint's kind of all over the place now, and pressed his ult one time the whole game. So he just had
I
like.
think
a
I
rough
saw
bit of it.
2 Ash ults all game.
Yeah, like their whole team mental just sort of crumbled after the game started falling apart a little bit. Even if like in many aspects the game was okay for them, just sort of like the demoralizing aspect of it was really noticeable in regards to how much worse they were playing, like from 3 minutes to like 10 minutes.
Hell yeah. And like, I mean, I think that, yeah, I mean, that Nunu game was insane. I mean, Neil was everywhere on the map, and you could just kind of feel the tilt coming out of the Galio.
Neil doesn't gank though.
No, he doesn't gank until that. That was bananas. He also doesn't play Elise, so I mean, I don't know. I might do some corrupting father mug withholding, or just add some spiders to yours when it gets shipped. Either or. But I guess kind of looking back at the whole season, I guess what was the journey like? What was some of what were the highlights of the season aside from maybe this? What were some of your favorite parts? What were the hardest parts of the season for you guys?
Someone else want to talk this time?
I enjoyed the games we lost because it felt like each time it invigorated more practice from us. It like energized us to like try harder for the next time.
What about you, Cobalt? Is Cobalt even at his computer?
Dude, I just wanted to play Singed.
Didn't see it.
I know.
Missed it.
He was also like complaining he couldn't play Malphite all 3 games.
Oh,
No, how terrible.
It's okay. I wasn't complaining. I was sad.
complaining.
Best parts of the season? Worst parts of the season? Not being able to play Malphite?
Probably the best parts of the season is when we're all driving and having a good time. Worst parts of the season is when things go wrong and it feels like our mental gets strained in that some sense. You could see it a little bit in game 2 when we were kind of down a little bit early. I think Shu was getting a lot of attention mid and he was like 0-2 at that point. So takes a lot of like good words, the right words, to try to like get the team mental back on track, start thinking about what we need to do, what our objective is, and how do we come back online to try to like get this train back on the tracks, if you know what I'm saying.
sure.
So you're gonna release a book about what the good words are?
Yeah,
Because like I want to know what some of these...
Yeah,
I don't know, man,
what
I just
specific
start
words
yelling.
did you use?
Yeah.
I think I yelled Bud Light kill.
Okay, all right. Those are good words.
That's a good one. We talk about the best camp, which is the Wolf camp,
It's true.
Finest camp.
the finest
Anytime
camp.
someone kills the Wolf camp, everyone is expressly aware.
Yeah, because Neil has now offered up his finest camp, the Wolf camp. So we yell that a lot. That kind of helps. People giggle at that one a lot. So honestly, there's no important words other than like,
If someone's big strong, we say they're big strong.
if I'm strong, I say I'm hefty.
A brawny boy.
I'm thick or hefty. I like to say hefty.
Hefty. All right, so another question. How did Spence become the mascot for your team? Why is it, I feel like this whole team is really just based around Big Chimpin'.
Well,
He's the most
every
animated.
team needs a mascot, obviously.
True. But you have so many good mascot potentials here. I mean, this is a stacked team of personality.
I mean, Spence has the big chimpin energy, and no one else can take that away from him. No one tops his big chimpin energy.
That's the secret. That's the recipe to success right there.
I've had that song stuck in my head for weeks because we keep talking about Big Chimpin'.
What fucking song is this? Is there a song called
Big
Big
Pimpin',
Chimpin'?
dude.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if there was a song called Big Chimpin'.
I mean,
Chris will literally be in
should be
lane,
now.
like humming it to himself.
I love it. But yeah, I mean, the season's at an end. We're here. You guys did it. What do you got for us? What kind of
I'm
spicy
going to
story?
Disney World.
You're going to Disney World?
Ooh.
I'm gonna get as
You're gonna
sick
get
as
COVID?
I can as fast as possible.
I recommend not going to Disney right now.
Yeah, take a hot
Feels
pass on
like a
that
bad
one.
time.
No, absolutely.
Well, if nobody
But-
goes, then it's a good time to go.
That's true. If it's empty, then I can
Well,
sort of
you're
run
right.
around on my own.
Yeah, there you go.
True.
I can't do anything because no one's there to run them, but I can just sort of be there, and
Pretty
that's
essential.
magical in and of itself.
You can go to that
did-
Blue Essence Emporium instead. It's almost the same.
I did see that Hawaii is offering free round trips to people that work from home that want to go to Hawaii for like a month and invigorate their economy with local shopping. So I don't know. Yeah, seems like that could be a play for some of you guys. Go take a vacation.
Party. in
Yeah,
Hawaii.
maybe we'll do the wreck party in Hawaii.
The real play is we're
That'd be
waiting
really
for
well.
coronavirus to go away so we can all go to Spence's house and hang out with his family.
Ooh, there you go.
Why doesn't his family just come to the wreck party?
no, we
Hmm?
wanted to do, the plan was the wrecked crawl, where we do a bar crawl from everyone's apartments around the Boston area.
Amazing.
That'd
I love
be
that
awesome.
idea.
That'd be great.
By the
Yeah.
end of the night,
Yeah.
we're literally crawling.
Post-corona, of course.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be a lot of commuting. It'd be more commuting than like anything.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll get there,
Just have
dude.
to hire a driver.
You get a party bus.
I got a Razor
set.
scooter.
So is the
Yeah.
wreck party online this year because of Corona?
Huh? Nah, we'll just probably wait till everyone gets vaxxed and we're all vax bros.
Yep. After it's all over, we're gonna hold every single rec party that we missed in a row. Just
So
like
it'll
just
be-
like
it'll be like- it'll be like
one
two.
night after the other. Yeah.
Yep. So it'll basically be a weekend. It'll be a wrecked weekend.
So we
Yeah.
all die.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
everyone. Hopefully, Tortuga at least makes it to that party again.
I would want to make sure he's still breathing, but I don't think he's sober enough to respond.
Fair enough. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely a little bit bittersweet to not have some kind of celebration at the end of this all. But I mean, it seems like that at least some point this year there is potential to, get weird again. So
I don't know about this year, but
Hey,
might
well,
be
I guess not this
optimistic.
year. Sorry, next year. I forget that it's not actually 2021. 2020 is a wash.
just moving on.
Have a virtual happy hour or something. We'll make it
Oh
work.
yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, every hour is a happy hour if you make it that.
I think we were supposed to still have a virtual happy hour with Zabel from last season, but
He
we
never
never
showed up.
did it.
I don't think he wants to have one
Well,
anymore.
he did show
Yeah.
up. He just paused for a while before we got started.
Yeah, I think he's probably going to take a pass on that one for like a week. No, I'm sure he's just cheeky and chummy after getting dong slammed so hard.
He takes it well.
After Mundo told him that he's not allowed to be here anymore.
Yeah. I mean, were there any like picks in the games that like surprised you, either coming from them or I don't know, coming from you? Did anything you do surprise you?
I don't
Orn
think
was-
anything that
Orn
they
was
did
weird.
the whole season was like unexpected, or like any team really surprised us with anything for the most part. Might have been like one or two here and there, but for the most part, we pretty much saw like all the stuff people were going to play most likely before they picked it. It was just a question of which weird thing were they going to play.
I would say the Amumu game
It's when
3 was
Zyra
weird.
Yeah,
was
I
a
think
little-
it
we
was
want- we-
surprising. It was surprising to see them focus taking away picks when they know most of our roles have pretty deep pools. So like taking away the Zyra or taking away the Amumu rather than just playing their game.
Surprised I didn't whip
I think
out
that was
the
probably something that we weren't expecting.
The Kiana.
Yasuo Yone
Oh
from
yeah.
Sub League Thursday. Was that in the back of the mind at all?
I mean,
I
was
definitely
thinking about it.
considered games. We definitely considered game 3 that they might just pick some jank.
I was hoping for some jank.
Yeah, I was
want
we
some-
bummed out they
thought-
didn't.
We thought I guess we were surprised. So draft 3, we saw them pick up Shen Amumu and immediately thought Infernal comp. They're going Infernal comp, and then they picked Lucian.
Because Zabel, but well, that was after we picked Galio. Because Zabel begs to do it all season long. He did the same thing last season.
So we thought they were going to go for an Infernal comp, but they didn't.
So we told them no and took Galio.
That's even
Gromp.
crueler. That's fucked up. You could have let them have
I
anything.
wanted to play Galio. I've been playing a lot of Galio, so
Chimp
I
had his
wanted to play.
Infernal skin and chroma ready to go. He was ready to show it off.
In the right as that game started, he typed Galio. I want to play it into the champ select chat.
I think
So we had to give the man what he wanted.
for surprises, I think we might have actually caught them off guard with my jungle picks. I don't know. I feel like they definitely didn't expect Nunu. Maybe they did, but I hadn't played it in like a long time. And then I feel like they definitely didn't expect Skarner either. So it's kind of nice, I guess. If they're effective, it's nice for us, but I don't know if it matters.
Hell yeah. So, end of season, going around. Any last words before we, I guess, the great silence, the great goodbye? We're probably-
Silence. We're not dying yet.
Not yet. I mean,
Tort might be.
yeah, I was
but
about to say the jury's not out on
he's
Tort,
he's on the way, but I don't know if he's there yet.
But yeah, you guys get the honor of the final words as we start wrapping up season 7. Let them rip.
I think Spence has to get the final words.
Is this like saying grace?
Hey, I thought about
There's
saying
big
grace at the
chimping,
beginning
dude.
of it.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. GG's. See you guys next season.
Chimp's all business.
Suit says it all.
That's true.
Don't mess with me and my
he
family.
looked dapper.
Yeah,
We all look
shout out.
dapper. I do want to give a shout out to everyone in the production team that helps out, like making everything happen and all that. Because like none of us would get to do like partake in any of this otherwise, and it's unfortunate that some like nonsense happened the past few weeks, but it's appreciated that you guys stuck with it and like put something out anyway.
And thanks for wading through all of the manifestos, all of the fun stuff attached with that.
Founding father
Definitely,
corruption.
definitely not easy when you have people pulling you from multiple competing directions. But yeah, thanks for the work you guys do.
Absolutely, it's our unique and distinct pleasure.
Oh, Jamu, thanks for the sub.
Hey, no problem.
It's a big
Oh
resub.
shit! And Wild Tortuga with the 5 gifted subs.
Holy shit, he's still alive!
He's alive.
This is his will and
He left his
testament.
computer open and someone's just spending all his money.
I heard that substitutes or that subs are actually an okay substitute for shots in shot bets.
This is true.
Yeah.
They both start with
That's
S.
I think he took all of them, and Neil's not
Oh,
playing
right.
anymore tonight.
I do owe my shot. I will at least give that. So cheers, fam. Have you even got a line slave?
Ooh.
Way better than balsamic. Way better. This one's gonna be more fun. But yeah, it's been a really good season. Obviously ups and downs, but I think that overall the league made some real positive moves. I think that we did some good stuff. You know, some Wrecked After Dark. I think production was pretty good.
Some
I mean,
weeks I think it was
Adolma's
fine.
lighting is basically the highlight of it all. Look at that man's
Yeah.
camera and stuff. He looks like a big
So
Chad.
nice.
And we got Jamu up on the mic more. He's no
Mhm,
longer Shy Boy.
Yeah.
I still am.
Yeah. Well, you hide it well.
All right. Well, I think with that,
Should we just go party on? Go do an after party?
I'm gonna make sure that that Spence gets the last word. And then I'm gonna cut the stream. So Spence, what do you got?